Hey, Henry, how are you? You doing, Henry? Can you hear me? Hey, guys, we're getting ready for what is considered to be one of the biggest shows today. September Job is here, and everybody, one of the biggest show. I hear that Representative Yeke Kolova will be joining us, and we'll be talking about the Sona address today by the President of Liberia, President Joseph Yuma Boakai. But we here, guys. Tomalin is here, so take over from there. Tomalin, take over.
But what about it? About it to the
Yeah,
usual. Okay. Oh, buddy, what's up, man? How's it going?
man, chilling, holding it down, man, holding it down, taking it easy, taking it easy, taking it easy.
Yeah, I was in the area yesterday though. But we're not we live.
We are,
Oh, hey, oh, thank God you told me because I want to talk something crazy, you know.
we are live, we are live and clear, bro.
Yeah, guys, let's share the show because people say they can't see the show. Let's
I
share
don't know why.
our
I don't know
pages.
why though. You know,
Yeah,
go if
but, today was the president's first annual message to the nation. In fact, the John session of the legislature. I have the message here, the entire message. The president he spoke. Um, he made made some big promises to the Liberian people, and it's a new president. So right now he gets all the morale, all the everybody was were buying to it right now until
everything,
let's see what
everything.
happens the first year. So by next year, by this time, when he giving his annual message to the Liberian people, we're gonna find out now exactly whether he was able to deliver some of his promises he's making today.
Right.
Uh, but today we listen to him. He spoke well. The contents of the message what we'll be discussing. We will try to find we'll dig into the content of the message and so forth. Uh, but I know the CDC already issued a statement that they will respond to the president's message tomorrow, and as an opposition party, as I tell people, Liberia basically we have two parties now because uh, I mean we saw during the election how about 20 parties right about it. We have 20 parties during the election, but now since the election, you hear much of the other parties when they come back and bet you count 2020, 27, 28. You see them coming up now. The parties start coming up. But right now, basically, it's the CDC and the UP right now. And CDC will be giving their response tomorrow officially to the president's State of the Nation address. I know one of the things that caught people's eyes were the issue about the money that President Weah said he left in the consolidated account. But I got a document here that uh, what President Boga didn't do to the Liberian people, he didn't tell Liberian people of the Liberian data component. So when he said when he was basically saying President Weah wasn't telling the truth by saying he left 40 million, he said President Weah instead left 20 million, which I don't think. But we already have a copy of the former regime that they did. They did stand by the word that they left $40 million in the consolidated account. So definitely we'll be discussing it. But Barry, before the guys come in, I just spoke to Honorable Koluba a few minutes ago. He will be joining us. But what do you make of the president's his speech today?
Well, I think the president just this was his first speech. I didn't expect him to talk much, except he presented what his government plans to do. And I think he talked about auditing folks, auditing every branch of the government. I think that's a great way to go. I didn't expect too much from him, But one thing I expected to hear in his recommendation today, I expected to hear the constitution of the War and Economic Crime Court, and that's something I did not hear. I probably didn't hear it well, but I know I'm listening keenly, and I expected him to have said something on that, and nothing was said. So I was a little disappointed about that part of the speech, and it seemed like I said to myself, "Well, Prince Johnson gonna have his way," because we saw Prince Johnson yesterday mocking the president on stage. Uh, 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 the president on stage, he was mocking the president. How the president's speech was too long, so the president fell off. It was a short speech, but I'm not sure a lot was presented. In terms of the 20 million that was left in the central bank account, I think the former government would do themselves a favor to come out and disprove that. I mean, you send us if you send out paper and say this is what is it. I mean, we don't know. I mean, anybody could make up something and send it. So I think it's something that the former finance minister or somebody from the finance ministry will come up to disprove. But I mean, he did say some good things, but especially the uh, auditing folks, education. He talked about the war on drugs and how Liberia is a national concern for the drugs and all of that. But I just want to know how he will proceed with all of that. He still talk about his rules in 100 days. No car will break down on the road and stuff like that. And we thank God for the good news. He said that the Japanese government's willing to come in to help. All of that. But I was disappointed that I did not hear anything about the war and economic crime court. That caught my. That's what I expected to hear, and I'm very disappointed I did not hear that.
Welcome, Professor Kennedy. Welcome to the closing argument again. Good, always good to have you. Yeah, but Peabody just to say, I don't know, but someone said that I don't know. We got to find out. We'll find out that the president did intend to talk about the war crimes code, but then I don't know whether it's PYJ comments yesterday at his church that made it to omit it, but we don't know. But I think it was important that he reiterate about the establishment of the war crimes code in his State of the Nation address, because he said we're giving his agenda for the coming year. I think he should have mentioned it too. Especially when he talked about the audit, he should have talked about it. But Professor Kennedy, welcome, and what's your take on the president's first State of the Nation address?
Yeah, thanks, gentlemen. Always good connecting with you guys. I think he did what he had to do, right? He had to go out there and give a speech that will encourage his supporters. And he also gave a speech that people on the opposition side would say it left a whole lot to be desired, right? Because, like you just mentioned, he didn't touch on the key element of war and economic crime court. He laid out a lot of things that he wants to do. And that's the thing with these annual messages, whether it's in the U.S. State of the Union address or in Liberia State of the Nation address. They always seems to want to do a lot more than he can possibly do. Always want to do. He laid out a lot of stuff he wants to do, but I don't think they have the money to do it. But it's good, to give people hope. But again, giving hope is one thing, but having the implementation strategy, how you would get the money to make those things happen, is what people really want to see. So he talked about a lot of stuff, even taking the drug test, which people were cheering for, which is great. But then I'm hearing people on the other side saying, well, just how he's promising to be the first to give or do a drug test, he almost promised to be the first to do his asset declaration, but that didn't happen. So you will always have people from both sides trying to be, one side would give that optimistic look. The other side will come around and say, well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. It would be hard to please everybody. I think my take was, He didn't talk mainly about where he's going to get the money from to do all of these things that he wants to do, which has been a major challenge. The reason why you had almost $80 million budget shortfall, which all previous administrations always have budget shortfall, is because they always put a lot of expectations on donor funding. If you look at all the budgets, you take a look at the Central Bank of Liberia website, and you take a look at the Central Bank annual report, you will always notice one thing consistently. The reason why they have budget shortfall is because they rely on maybe 25 to even 40%, 25 to 40% of the revenue to be on grants and loans, which sometimes don't happen. So they end up with the budget shortfalls. So, I think we're going to have a good conversation today, and we're going to explore this and see what else we can make of it.
But Professor Kennedy, I will send you. Let me send you this. The government of Liberia consolidated cash balances for fiscal year 2023 and fiscal year 2024 as of January 17, 2024. Since you're the finance guy, the numbers guy, you will tell maybe help us to break this down as in response to the president saying that, making the comparison that the money actually that President Weah said he left in the consolidated account is different from what he said he inherited. So perhaps you will break it down for us.
But one thing, Tomalin, remember when President Weah gave his first State of the Nation address?
Yeah.
He also mentioned the gross reserves that he met in there, which the Unity Party said wasn't true. Because if I remember correctly, he said in 2020, the Central Bank of Liberia put out one data. The Central Bank said, I think the gross international reserve was like around 220 something million. Yeah. But President Weah said it was way less than that. So you will always have this dispute. The only way you can verify it is when the CBL comes out, because the CBL have direct access, even the Ministry of Finance, but I don't think the incoming Minister of Finance has that access yet. But the CBL has direct access to the reserve account at the Federal Reserve Bank in New York. Every major central bank out there have an account at the Federal Reserve Bank in New York. So the CBL is the only one. That's why I always look at the CBL reports. And in 2017, the CBL said the gross international reserve was 227 million, a lot more than what President Weah was claiming. So just how today we hear President Boyka saying the gross reserve is way less than what the previous administration is claiming, I say let's look at what the CBL puts out when they do their annual, the CBL annual reports. It usually comes out, I think, by January or February. And we know exactly what the CBLs are reporting because they didn't want to get the numbers from the Federal Reserve Bank in New York. Otherwise, we'll just hear this, he says, she says stuff and back and forth without knowing the definitive amount in there until maybe Boyma Kamara comes in. He gain access to that data and then he can tell us.
Okay, thank you. But Keff, welcome. Keff, can you please send that that balance sheet, cash balance document to Professor Kennedy for us?
I don't have this.
You posted it in there. You said you have it again.
You don't hear. God.
But anyway,
listen to me. I said I don't have his contact, and I don't have it. I have it right here.
Okay, send
man.
Send the mail. Using two different. Send it to me on Messenger.
It's in the chat room there. Check it
on Messenger to me, please.
Okay.
Yeah, but why Kev doing it? Look, I mean, the president, I would say, delivery. It was far better than on Monday. He spoke well. The contents of the speech is what we are talking about. But I think he stood up. People say he was going to sit down, but he stood up and he spoke. He said he made some promises. He said that something we didn't hear from the speech, like I didn't hear about. Well, many students were asking me. He mentioned whether they will continue the weird public free public tuition and the wise payment. People wanted to make it pass it into law, make it a law that every year the government library will have that in the budget. People didn't hear that, and also the people were concerned again that he didn't reiterate his establishment of the war crimes code, and then also the declaration of assets. He talked about the appointing the office of Ombudsman, which is good, But people were concerned that the president, I think, up to yet, they have not heard him declare his assets, something he promised to do, and he has not said he has not declared his asset yet. But he talked about the Presidential Transition Act, which is very good. The bill for the establishment of the Minister of Local Government, that's a good something. Operationalizing the revenue sharing law. The passage of the National Tourism Bill. There's a bill that Representative Akaras Gray sponsored in the last session.
But Tomalin, let's kind of
Larry, check on your messenger. I think I find you. I think I'll send it to you.
Okay, let me check it out. But let's break it down a piece at a time. Because on the education side, you talk about the WIAC fees waiver and some other stuff. But if I remember correctly, I think the only thing that the president mentioned on education was he said he was committed to revitalizing the education system. That's kind of vague, right? Because everybody would be committed to revitalizing the education system. But one thing that he said was specific. He said he was going to have, I think, roughly 10,000 students or so start focusing on education, on technology or digital or some sort of an educational thing within technology. I think he said he was going to get like almost 10,000 students involved in learning something about technology. Now, that is good because he put a hard number on it. The only thing that is missing is it's not time specific. You don't know when the 10,000 students will happen. It's on the agenda. Maybe it's within 6 years, which when you look at it in its entirety, 10,000 students in 6 years is not a whole lot. But if it's 10,000 students in 1 year, fantastic. But he put the number on the number of students, but not the time specific, how long it would get done. So that's the thing about these speeches, right? Everybody wants to do a lot, but people don't have the money to match it, So that's why he started talking about all the development partners, the EU, the World Bank, the USAID, UKAID. He talked about the government of Japan, the government, the Saudi fund, all these things. But we had to have access to all of that. And they still struggle. So, I'm really open to hopefully he will have the implementation plan ready and he can hit the ground running. But this first week, they came stumbling on day one. Hopefully, this will be a chance now for them to pick up themselves, say, okay, let's hit the reset button and let's see what we can do differently.
Well, welcome, Duke. Happy New Year and everything. One of our strong independent free thinker, Duke Estrada JJ. Good to see you. As we're happy to have you back on the closing argument to let us put Liberia first and discuss the issue that matters to Liberia. Welcome, Duke.
Thank you, Tommy. Thanks. Kev, happy to see you. I see the professor himself here.
Yeah, Duke, my man. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Professor, thanks. It's great, man. It's great seeing you all.
Well, Kev, let's get it going. The other guys will join us. Kev, give us your opinion about the president's first sonant today. What's your thoughts and what's your how did you see the president's first State of the Nation address?
Well, again, let me say hi, Larry. Duke, my man, you've been running away from me, but finally, yeah.
Long story.
Yeah, but the Sona address from GMB. I'm looking for the right word to say. I was speaking to some folks today. I think what I saw or what I heard is about the Unity Party tried to get him through this because of last week issue. So they gave him less time. Tiola vague. We use that. They gave him, less time, and just want to go through it. But I was looking for some meat to chew on. Nothing that I could get from there. And I was saying we would do this. What about how they know how they nothing I actually were getting from this. For example, he talked about education. He said education is a right, and this we all know that since we were born, but nothing about if I'm gonna keep the WAS turn into a law, the free tuition into law, and all those things. Nothing, nothing there. Then one of the main campaign slogan, one of the things that drive a lot of people: you harmonize our pay, we will harmonize you. Uh, Nothing there for the civil servant. No bread and butter issue there. Nothing we get out of this this Sona. Nothing. So we're going to Larry. You're right. I always, especially my brother Tomalin George, will talk in the back. All these things that have been there. Not only in Liberia, in Sierra Leone is there. What I did not hear the most, how we going to create domestic revenue? What's your plan? When you go through agriculture, vague, nothing there that we can say, okay. So I will stand for now, but there's no wow factor. Nothing shows that a new sheriff in town. With all the campaign, nothing shows that you will say, "Oh yes, the new sheriff in town." Something there. Lastly, before I forget, let's talk about the 20 million versus the 40 million we're talking about. I send you the stuff. We know the amount there. But if you want to take 20 million, it's double. It's double what the CDC met. CDC met 7 million. Nobody dispute that. Other people will talk their thing, but the Amara never dispute that, or Brahma Kamara never dispute that. So the government met 7 million in 2018 with all the goodwill, but we'll get into that as the show goes on.
Well, we're still waiting. Anytime we expect Representative Coliba to come on. I spoke to him a few minutes ago, so I'm sure he's getting ready. But Duke, what I mean, you can comment. I'm sure you listened to the speech. What's your thoughts about the speech? What you heard today, at least.
Yeah, Tomlin. Thanks to the folks in the listening audience. I appreciate it. When I hopped on the show, I heard something profound from the professor, and it is funny that he cited because I jotted the same thing, and I was just struck from that before going into the thing. Assistance from partners that caught my attention, right? And I said here that we need to take control of funding instead of relying on handouts to fund some of these initiatives. And I think that's a brilliant point he captured. When you say all of these things, the bottom line is you need the money to be able to fund those things. How we're able to generate the funding for those things, those are some of the challenges previous administration have actually faced, and so we'd like to see some of those creative ideas that they have to be able to fund that. With that being said, I like to drift away from my brother Kev a little bit. I think today we witness something different than what we've seen over the past 6 years, the previous 6 years. And what I mean is that there was more dignity to the presidency. And this is not, talking down on anybody, but I think the stage was actually set. In terms of the speech, I think I have an idea in what they were actually doing. Um, you know, we can't deny the president is a little bit on the older side, and so long speeches is something that you wouldn't want somebody of that magnitude to do. And I wish CDC have cut on that aspect of it because the former president was not an eloquent individual, and hopefully they could have actually simplify things for a little bit more. But the Union Party, I think they did a little bit of brilliant job there. Now, I like the fact wherein he came. I believe it was intentional. They have an idea in terms of what they want to do. They have some good things in the speech in terms of the aspect of the Freeport of Monrovia, the Gilbert Tucker Bridge, those access ways. I think across the bridge that's a great, major economic hub, and I think the professor would agree. In the past, the OU Conference Center, the Hotel Africa, the Riverview, those areas used to be attractive destinations for international partners. A lot of those foreign offices were at that location and were generating some kind of local, economy there for the people. Um, what I had expected to see more of was the war crimes court. I would have thought that there would have been reference points in that speech to be able to further tell us how the current president and his government intends to handle that particular issue. Maybe we'll see something else to be able to bring clarity. But overall, to me, I think it was a step in the right direction. Now, one important issue, actually two issues, Tomley, and then I'll let other people come in. Is this? I think when we look at the previous administration, um, what set that administration up for failure number one was, the private sector, that complete control of foreign business owners on the economy. I like to see and hear more about how they intend to be able to reduce the monopoly and try to open up things to make it a little more diverse there. Number two, I also think that um, this thing about who meant what in the nation coverage, it has to be clarified, right? The mistake from the previous regime is that they said that Madam Salib left a certain amount, but simple accounting, simple record keeping, who have actually justified, supported their claims, right? That was never done. Um, I believe the current president did mention that he intends to do some major audits. Hopefully, we'll have some kind of clarity in who's telling the truth when we have, papers, when we have paper references, we have accounting, some level of auditing to be able to tell us exactly what was meant there. But overall, I do believe, from just, this kind of formal standpoint, it was a great speech. We needed more details, and hopefully, we get more. It's in the right direction. How they come up with money to be able to fund some of those initiatives are things that we'll be looking forward to.
Welcome, Chairman Sanvee. Welcome, Peabody again. But as I welcome you guys, I know I'm. Let me reassure you guys. Chairman, Representative Colbert called me and said that he's going to be coming. He just called me, so we're expecting any time from now. But Chairman Sanvee and the Peabody, President Boakai said, and I quote, "The state of our nation is in distress, but the hope of our people is alive. We have all it takes to overcome the burden we have imposed on ourselves through greed and corruption." So what is your take about that statement? He said our nation is in distress.
Do you want me to go first or him? Yes, he will, yeah.
All right, let me say to Emily. Well, he's coming in. He can say that yes, the state of our nation is in distress. I mean, I don't think it's anything new that our nation has not been in distress. It's been in distress from day one, from President Ellen Johnson's time when she left, and Ebola. I mean, Ebola and the NGO leaving the country, and our economy kind of plunged down. And then coupled with corruption, corruption has one of the major disease that we have in that country. And so any government coming to power realize that, because most of the people have not been brought to justice. There have been nobody brought to justice for corruption or anything. So people don't see Liberia as a country that really will do anything. So people use that as a means of going there to steal, and they know that nothing going to come of it. So that's a serious problem, But I think what he needs to do is, I think he was right. He said we have what to fix it. It's just the transparency that we need, the honesty that we need, holding people to tax, holding people that commit, steal and stuff in that country holding them to tax and bringing them to justice. I think we have what it takes if we can work together as a nation. If we are transparent, if Joe Barker is honest about fighting corruption, I think we will be on the better path. And I want to say that yes, the speech was to me wasn't really bad. It was a great start considering the first day. I mean, the first time, he's been president for about a week now, a week and a half. So I mean, it was not as one would see it, but I still feel that he missed out on that part of the war crime and economic. I think he missed out on that. But I think yes, we've been in that situation for a very long time, not just with the last 6 years. I think for the last 19 years, we have been in that situation.
Thank you. And let me thank you guys for being here. It's good to see everybody. Duke, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a couple of months. It's good to see you back.
15 minutes of work.
I was going to say, we act like we're in different countries, but it's okay. Let me say, Larry, it's good to see you. Thank you, guys. So my impression of the speech, I thought they were more concerned about getting him to read the speech and to not have an episode. But I thought the speech was light. And let me tell you why. And being fair, in all fairness, I am not a fan of long-winded sonas. I did not expect him to have a 3-hour speech like President Weah did the last time. I think President Weah's last speech was almost 2.5, almost 3 hours. I think State of the Nation addresses should not be that long. It shouldn't be more than 1 hour long. I don't think so. I think 1 hour, say you stretching it, right? I think what you're delivering a synopsis of your detailed plan that you are giving to the national legislature. That's what the SONA is about, right? So what I heard, a couple of things, and I'm going to highlight a couple of things, and I've been reading his speech. And Larry, to your point, he talked about the 10,000 students. He did say before the middle part of 2024. So he put some timeline on it. When you read it, you see he said by the middle of 2024, his government endeavors to start training. I don't know if it's going to be, if the 10,000 people are going to be trained by then, which I find very, very, it's up in the air. But let me say this. I thought the speech lacked substance. I thought the speech sounded more of a campaign stump speech than a governance piece. He is president now. I think what he needed to do, I did not see anything bold. I didn't walk away from that speech saying, wow, the country is about to be rescued. And this is me taking off my partisan or my bias lens, right? I'm not trying, I was really looking, and especially the reason I'm saying this is because I believe Joe Barker has the potential to be the most consequential president that we've had in our country's history. It is at least except he changes, right? People believe that Joe Barker is not running for re-election. So except he wakes up 6 years from now, he could do that. That's his right. Ellen herself said she was coming for one term. But when you know Ellen ran for a second term, I keep telling people, don't rule it out that Joe Barker may decide that he wants to run for a second term. It's not impossible. It is possible if he's in good health, if he's up and running, he may decide he want to run. So let me tell you why I said, but as of today, all we know is that he is a one-term president. He has nothing to owe. He has nothing to pay to nobody. He ain't got nothing. He ain't got to be shy. What I expected to hear some bold things today. Bold, right? I expected to hear to hear him announce some specific actions. Listen, I've signed this executive order. I've done this. I've done that. This is what I intend to do. Even the issue of him taking the drug test, I was like, what the hell? What? No one has accused President Joe Barker of taking drugs. Nobody have accused or believe that the vice president is taking drugs. The fight on drugs doesn't need symbolic leadership now. Because what he did today by saying my vice president and I will be the first to take drug tests, that's symbolism. What I wanted to hear, I heard him name a committee. I actually did not want, and I have a problem with that committee because I think it's going to be bogged down with a lot of bureaucracies by saying this ministry, that ministry. I wanted to hear a firm and an effective task force today. I wanted him to name the chair of that task force. I wanted to hear Joe Barker sound like he's ready to govern, The president that I heard today was probably a man who probably didn't think that he was going to win the election, won the election, and then, okay, I'm trying to figure out my plan. Yes, he has a rest. So on the issue of drugs, I expected him to name a task force today. And not only name that task force, state to the country today, say, and I have mandated that this task force report to me in 30 days on a firm plan of action, and this is what we are going to do. I did not get that today. The other thing that I missed from him today, I expected that as the president was walking into that hall, him and his vice president, their assets would have been declared. He would have announced today and said, listen, in my fight against corruption, I am taking the bull by the horn. I'm leading the charge. By the way, as I speak right now, my assets and that of my vice president has been declared, and I am instructing the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission to release it to the public. You can go on www.lscc.gov.lr and you will see my assets. That would have been a break from the past. That would have been him seizing the moment. I did not hear anything bold. The thing about, I heard Duke highlight the thing about the bridge and the roads. Those are all plans that have been a part of our political mosaic. The original plan for that road by Talbot was what Joe Bucker talked about today. That road was not supposed to be or the way it looked right now. It should have been fully to do so. All I heard him say was that he will do that. The funding that he talked about from the Japanese, it was the Weah administration that negotiated that funding. I didn't hear him say, he made it sound like he already had negotiated with the Japanese, right? So I know we're just starting, but what I wanted to hear today, I did not get. I wanted to see a president in hurry. This is the man who said the country needs rescue. Yes, he said the country is in a distressed state, but the hope of our people are alive. But I didn't get that with him. He doesn't look distressed. I wanted to see a righteous, angry president today who say, you know what, I'm so upset by what I have seen so far. I'm ready to get on the ground running. That's not what I got today. And lastly, Tomalin, I don't know if Prince Johnson intimidated him. Because if you were bold enough to put that you would set up an office in your inaugural address, and in that inaugural address, you said the legislature will have their say. I did not hear him report to the people's representatives. I also expected him to have named that office today, maybe the head of that office, to say, Mr. Speaker, I am sending this thing to you. You guys hit this thing running. But I guess Prince Johnson intimidated him with his sermon yesterday. So maybe his people kind of cowtail and took it out. But overall, if I was grading him, I would give him a C-. I expected to see boldness today, and I did not get boldness from JMB. Tomalin, you muted.
Yeah, wow. So, but quickly, so what you guys make up about him talking about the no cost, talking the mod 100-day delivery vote that he said when he got elected, and also, but he talked about the Japanese promise to give him fundings for the Gabriel, to make the Gabriel Tucker Bridge to Freeport 4-lane road, and also the Freeport to St. Paul Bridge of 4-lane too. So you guys make, and then Ben just talked about he declared war on drugs with the establishment of several committees and so forth. What do you guys make up about all of those promises he made to the people? Professor Kennedy?
You want me to come in?
Yeah.
Yeah, so first let me say thanks to Ben. I think Margaret Johnson also mentioned that he was going to train 10,000 young people in digital technology within the first 6 months, which is great. But here's the other, and I like when I miss something and somebody highlights it. What I'm missing is 10,000 people. Are they going to get jobs after that? Because we have thousands of young people graduating from the universities, and they still can't.
Just yesterday, 1,000 graduated.
And they still can't find jobs. So having another 10,000 people learn information technology without jobs at the end of the rainbow is something that leaves a lot to be desired. But to Tomalin's point, let me just mention something. This is what keeps me up at night in terms of what Duke mentioned, what I said earlier. Where do you get the money from? So when you talk about the roads and other things you're looking to do, pay close attention to this part of the speech. And I brought it up just to make sure I don't miss it. He mentioned that the stock of the public debt at the end of 2023 was around 2.2 billion. Stock of the public debt at the end of 2023 was around 2.2 billion. Stock of the public debt at the end of 2023 was
Praise, you gotta mute yourself.
Okay, great. I enjoy hearing myself, but not that much. Okay. So
Professor, let me interrupt you. Let me just announce the guest is here. So as soon as you finish, we'll bring a guest in. He'll be the next coming.
Okay, great. So the public debt stock is at 2.2 billion. Now, if I remember correctly, I think it was in June or July of last year that TWE had a news conference, and Len Yuji Nagbe was at that conference as well. And TWE mentioned that the reason why the debt spiked or why it jumped like that, because he said there was a lot of debt that wasn't on the books. He said the previous administration had a lot of debt that wasn't being reported, and the IMF said if you go into enter the ECF program, you have to put all of your debt on the books so we can see it. And he said that's why a lot of the public debt spiked like that. But again, that's a situation where you can go into he said, she said, and they said, and all kind of stuff to prove it wrong. Here's the other key part I want you to pay attention to in terms of this road thing. He mentioned then that they were under sanctions. The Liberian government was under sanctions for not paying their dues to the African Union and to the ADB, the African Development Bank. And in fact, they missed a debt payment of $650,000, which means the European Bank was holding $13 million. You are missing debt payments, which means you can't tap other loans and grants. And I think it also happened with a payment either to the World Bank or the IMF. So if you're having these issues with making the debt payment, you're going to run into issues raising money to fix all these roads you want to fix. There's a serious issue with the money business. But to Ben's point, it's always good to have this positive outlook, but there seems to be some tangible meat in terms of how you get it done. If you're going to train 10,000 students, tell me, I'm going to get them hired at the end of this, or I'm going to set aside $500,000 from my budget to make this done, to get this accomplished. So back it up with some numbers, with some money, with put something measurable behind it. That's how you actually do it. But again, he did what he needed to do, 45 minutes of speech. He delivered it, and he got it done and got out of it.
Well, we want to welcome for the first time the Honorable Yeke Koluba, Monserrado County District number 10 independent lawmaker. This was one of the only lawmaker who people left the district to go and vote for him in his district from all across the Southern District, Monserrado County. People left the district. I know I met people in Liberia who said, I'm voting in District 10. I said, why? Because of Honorable Koluba. And today he's the face, mostly since the election, he has become one of the face of the opposition, apparently. But today, Honorable Koluba is with us, and he will be giving a response to the President's State of the Nation address and addressing other issues of national concern. Welcome, Honorable Yeke Koluba, to the closing argument.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being on your show. It's good to be here with you for the first time. And I look forward to us having good discussion to see how best we can educate our people on the speech made by the President.
Honorable Koluba, thank you. Honorable Koluba, I'm sure you know, I know you got Grace Goa is here. Duke, I'm sure, Professor Kennedy, Keff, Peabody, Ben Sanvee, and Brother Robert Gakwa. But I'm sure everybody, I'm sure you're aware, you've met with most of the folks on the platform. But President Bouaga said today the state of our nation is in distress. What do you make of that statement?
Well, let me firstly appreciate the people of this country, the people that left the various district to come to district number 10 to vote for me for my consistency. I used all the voice. At that time, I was appreciated. Today, we are very calm, and people take it to be very different. Not because you left your district to come to district number 10 to vote for me, you agree, or you would dictate to me. No. When President Bouaga or Kennedy Bouaga at the time came to my district, I told him, when the people of the people of this country elect you, and you do what we are seeing now, you have me to contend with. When he was naming Jeremiah Kun as his running mate, I told him, I say, when you win the election, you have another Finabono behind you, you'll get me to contend with. And I see everything going on. Look, the president is not well. He should not come to the State of Nation address today, but he was forced to come there to say to us or to address us for 30 to 45 minutes. There were a lot of deception in his statement today. The president said he will train 10,000 people, youth. Where is he going to put them? Where is he going to put them? We're struggling on how our people's salary, because that's what we campaign on. That will bring their salary back to status quo. The president said he will create local government, right? How you call it?
Yeah, Ministry of Local Government. He said
Ministry of Local Government.
They will transition the internal affairs to Ministry of Local Government. I think that was.
So you're coming to employ people again. Where are you going to get money from the paid people? You see, look, when we're speaking, we have to be very, very careful. Everything the president talk about today, he don't mean it. And you watch the process and see. You will see that he don't mean it. How can you train 10,000 youth?
Tango cables.
Are you bringing them just to say I train 10,000 youth, or you are going to empower them? How are you going to empower them? Are you going to sack the people that are on payroll that will start protesting again to bring new people in? I don't think it should be so. I don't think it should be so. Because it's good to train the youth. It's not a bad thing. People say, oh, you guys say the people not train the youth. No, it's a good thing. Do you have a place to put them? How are you going to pay them when you don't have the ability now to increase civil servant salary to where it was a President Dr. George Weah brought it down when he put salary on harmonize? You see, so Ben, we need to be very careful, not because you want to say something. You have to say, oh, the president went to the State of Nation address. You come and tell us things because you want to say things. We are going to hold you to it. Any things that he has said, after the 4 months, I start talking, they say, let me get tired. People telling me then, because we put Joseph Waka there, we move where we are. I'm going to talk. The woman will lead them to a town finish and move. It is how we're going to run government. They said nobody will talk at all. The same thing happened here. Are we going back to the same thing? We can do that. You got to be sincere to the process. When you are sincere to the process, then you will deliver. But if you come to the process and you're not sincere to the process, you're not going to deliver nothing. So how can he train people? How is he going to employ the people? How do he want to empower the people? And we look forward in the 4 months to see the youth be trained. And they coming back, not to go and start lottery in the community. No. When you train people, you must empower them. You must have the authority that when you train people to be able to give them job to do. Not to leave them in the street again with their mind concentrated on doing wrong things. Because they are going for training with the mind that they're coming to be employed. We saw people all in the street, if they're cleaning up. What do you have for them? What program do you have for them? Or they just clean the street, and very soon you will see the poster protesting. We clean the street, the point get on nothing. Some people tell you say we clean them on our own. That's not true. The people don't do things on their own. I'm a living witness. I can do things on my own. When I do something, I will need something in return. So when it comes to the 10,000 youth that will be trained, we want to tell the president thank you, but we look forward to see it happening in the 4 months. Local governor, we want to tell him thank you. But how is he going to do that? Is he going to close the Ministry of Internal Affairs to bring another agency where you have to employ people? Why are you putting all the law on you for? Why is he putting all the law on him? You know, look, the main thing I expected from the president today to talk about the war economic crime code that we've been talking about. That was the most important thing. Saying he never had nothing to tell us. All what he told our rhetorics. Saying he never had nothing to tell us. But you know, he wanted to bring about the war economic crime code. But when you look at here, at a certain point, why you recall it? When you look at here, he and Prince Joseph came face to face. And you know, talk about it. I'll be submitting I'll be resubmitting it. The war and economic crime got to come. Ben, people stole a lot of money from the country. They need to get a account of it. Even people that in the new government stole a lot of money from the previous government. They need to give account of it. We put our last people Ben afford war. Everywhere you expect when you get for war, you get like killer. That is why some are pushing for the code to come so we can exonerate ourselves. So tomorrow we say, no, I went to the code. The code say I fought war, but I'm not to be held liable for what happened because of these reasons. Then we gotta be careful. What are we telling our people? You can't trust the president on anything he say. President Boga told me, he said, yeah, when I become president, the youth of this country will be implored. Now no all recycle politicians will come. No, from the day President Boga started to implore the old recycle politician, I lose confidence in him. He lied to me. I don't trust him anymore.
Wow.
We'll start with Grace. Grace, we'll go around the table for questioning the give question to the honorable.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Honorable Koluba. Thank you for coming on. I really wanted to talk to you, and this is the right platform. And I like your energy. I like your zest for the country. I like the way you put in everything that you have, and I really respect that. But I look at you, and I was wondering the other day, I don't know why that you did not see the other options in the race. I know people say that, only Bwaka could remove Wuya from there, but we have people, a strong person like you, and with all the people that you have behind you, that people respect you, went to your district, voted for you because they believe in you, and when you tell them they're going to go on that joining with you, but with the people in the race, you guys still, carry on with Joseph Bwaka, knowing that, the man is an older man. He been in government for 1,000 years. So it was time for Liberia to have a change. And I was very disappointed that with all the renowned people in the race, like, Moneybar, Konklo, Cummings, and you guys did not sway the people on that side, and you sway the people to Bwaka. And then we see you come on now with everything in less than a few months of him being voted into power. And you are frustrated because you want the better for the country. So we understand your frustration, but we are hoping moving forward that, you continue to speak. And also you guys need to prepare yourself for the next 6 years coming, because when other people come for the actual change like we're supposed to have, we need people like your voices, the people like you to put your voice out there to bring the new people in. Because with the same recycle politicians you are complaining about right now, other people saw that way ahead of time and kept on saying it, but nobody listening. And I know most of your excuses are, Baga was the only person like when people already believed they didn't want to change their minds. But I believe that with people like you, Yeke Koluba, the people were going to change their mind and take a better, approach to voting the right person into power. So I just wanted to state that. Thank you for coming on. And maybe within the program, I will still ask you some other questions.
So let me just make small reference. Talk something about what you said. Look, when the whole process started, I was mediating between President Bwaka and Honorable Cummings and the opposition. I met Honorable Bwaka. I met Honorable Cummings. Honorable Cummings explained to me, say, yo, Yeke, I met Honorable Bwaka and told him to step aside and support me. I said, you sure? He said, yeah. I went and met Honorable Bwaka. Honorable Bwaka said, oh, Yeke, we can't do nothing right now. I said, I was very, very clear to Ambassador Bwaka and say, look, for your age, you can be the chief doyen of this country and just sit and advise the country to move forward. Say you have worked for so more years and you got the experience, you can be the good advisor. You will be surprised, my sister. I saw old man Bwaka joking. He said physically fit. I small play with air. proving to me that you physically fit, that you can run this country. To see how the country is moving today, you know, you are right. We push it. Right now, my arm, I should be going back to Ghana to do surgery on it. I fell down on Riverside Road 2 times with the youth chair of Unity Party behind me. We fell down 2 times. He got scrape all in hand, all in elbow. My arm came from Johnny. Up to now, I still got that thing. They gave me some pills from Ghana to take so I can go back in the next 1 month to go do my surgery on my arm. We did it because if Bwaka don't leave the stage, people will still think Bwaka can make the change. Somebody needed to lead the stage for people to know who they are. And you know, people believe that because the men are old men, I know what they voted for old men. But Bwaka proved to me that you're person that got energy that will move this country forward. Bwaka is incapacitated. Then be very firm with you. You listen to his speech today, saying that we're coming, the battery was going low, the battery was charging. He's very, 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 very incapacitated. If people do not want to need Jeremiah, Jeremiah can be president. We saw it. Then we don't want to accept the reality. Honorable Bwaka told me, say, I can dance on the devil to become president. So you don't want the devil to succeed you in case of anything. Jeremiah will become president in case of anything in the country. Nobody will change it. We saw it, we went for it, and we got it. So we brought Ambassador Bwaka to the face because, you know, for me, I moved for the majority. The majority at the time that we saw, they said they want Joseph Bwaka. Look, since I've been going through all my difficulties in the country, Honorable Cummins have visited me. Honorable Ure have visited me. Honorable Dillon have visited me. Yombly have never ever visited me. Joseph Bwaka have never ever called to say, according to you, you can call me nephew. I'm very, very sorry for the situation. You think I feel good? I don't feel good about it. Honorable Cummins have supported me. My family stay in Ghana. He has supported me 100%. But you talk to Honorable Cummins, he will tell you who I am. He know I'm not this simple person. And he respects me very well. When we met with him, Medela Kopa and myself, I won't be chief of protocol now for Bwaka. When she and myself met with him, we went to go meet Bwaka when we came back. Medela was on spoon. All the brother said he want to come person, and I was opportune to call on that show. I said, from today, you and myself can never go work together because you have taken sir. You know why when Comment High program I went there? It's because I don't want to go to Comment program or to go talk to him one day and say, oh, you were Bwaka. The reason why Bwaka High program went there, because I don't want him to talk the same way. So I was in the middle and playing my part to bring the two parties together. Honorable Bwaka broke the CPP. He broke it. He broke it. He has stayed my I'll talk to them. He followed deception. And I don't know if I say he can lie, people say maybe he just turned 40-year-old, he older than me. So I'm insulting an old man. But the point where he would lie to me, I don't respect Honorable Bwaka no more. I respect him because they voted for him, he the president, but to say I trust him for he and myself to sit to reconcile, it's not there. When you lie to me one time, I sacrifice myself to you, for you. I don't trust you anymore. So we are not going to regret it. For me, I will not regret it. Anything I see happening, I will talk about it. I'm not going to talk in the corner. Because tomorrow, like people like you people, and you people will not be wrong. Yeah, what did you say? Why are you talking now? Why you didn't talk ever since? Joseph Bwaka, you know our money. Where 10 million LeBron come from? Joseph Bwaka, you know our money. Where 5,000 come from? When as the chairman on spoon, he say, oh, Unity Party have money in it with a treasure. Oh, you have all that money for what baking job? We have for money for Joseph Bwaka to go to hospital. And I was said to him on spoon. You have all that money through all of your party headquarters. And he was very ashamed to say, oh, if you don't have money yesterday, you can have it today. These people are corrupt, and they are corrupt group of people.
Ben Sanvee.
Thank you, Representative Kolba. It's good to see you and welcome. We are a lot on the show, so at some point I will fall back and we'll give the other people the chance to act. But I just have one question for you. you highlighted the fact of, because I want to go to the war crimes code issue, because I think if you listened to me earlier before you came on, I thought about the fact that I felt I didn't get anything bold from this speech. I wanted to see Joe Boyka. He said he's coming to rescue the country. I wanted him to prove those of us who did not support him wrong. I wanted him to have that fire in his belly to say, listen, this is what I want to do. I'm doing this now. What do you think? First of all, he has not declared his assets. His vice president has not declared their assets. That's not leading by example. I think he did a good thing when he talked about setting up the office of the ombudsman, because the ombudsman will, I think I said it on this show before, will guide the process for the code of conduct. Why you think he has not declared his asset there? If they are doing it, maybe they will do it soon. Do you think he will make it public? And two, you mentioned about him looking at Prince Johnson. Do you think the war crimes thing was in the speech and he just decided that he wasn't going to talk about it because of what Prince Johnson said yesterday? And do you believe that he will try to set up this war crimes code? Those are my questions to you. Do you think he will set it up? Can you hear me? Oh, I wonder if he's frozen. Yeah, I think oh my God, we lost him. He will come back.
Well, he'll come back.
Yeah.
But guys, I mean, yeah, but Robert Kolba is making some revelations tonight, though. I hope you guys, I mean, like Ben said, I will let most of you guys ask the questions, but we talk to him most of the time, so.
Yeah, so, like I said, Tomalin, and hopefully he comes back, because I don't know. I mean, I heard Duke, I've heard a bunch of other people say, yeah, the speech was good. This, and that. Nothing. And I'm not saying it was a horrible speech. I just didn't get what I thought he was going to do today. Like I said, he didn't sound like a president in a hurry. Maybe he can come in because he maybe have another idea about this.
So Tommy, let me come in here quickly. Let's remember what we are discussing here is a speech, right? There's going to come a point in time where we will have the opportunity to be able to, discuss the implementation. I think we've provided context in terms of, our projected what we believe could potentially happen. The professor did mention funding, and I came in. Let me be more practical here. Let's say you're looking at and I think I copy here too, 10,000 young people in digital technology skills, right? Let's assume that we're looking at a budget around $5 million or possibly more than $5 million in excess. And I'm only saying $5 million if we're looking at just $500 and whatever it is, right? And then that's just a fixed budget for that particular course. And let's add a verbal component of maybe an additional $1 million, right?
Yeah, let's get him back.
Yeah,
because
he's there. Okay, perfect.
I'm already back. Yeah, okay, Ben, you continue.
Yeah, Honorable Kolipa, did you get my question? I wanted to just quickly, I just wanted to know from you, do you believe President Boyka will implement the war crimes code as he said in his inaugural address? And two, when do you think he's going to declare his assets? I think he will declare his assets. Do you think he will make it public? Oh, did I lose him again? Oh my God.
Maybe Ben, you need to stop asking about declaring assets.
Right.
I know. And
stop the
what I was saying
war
is
crimes court. The war crimes court statement. Maybe that will keep him.
Let me end what I was saying when it comes on.
Right. Because if you keep doing that,
there will be budget attached.
You're gonna keep it. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
He's back.
Representative Corbett, did you hear me? Did you hear me?
Sorry, I went all current.
Okay, did you hear my question? Did you hear my question, Representative Colbert? Did you hear it?
You are very low. I'm not getting you people too clear.
Ben, have the studio, like he's not, I guess, because he went off, so he's probably not hearing us clear. Let's studio have him log off and come back in. I can't do it from my end because I didn't get the time to get in this. I can't do it from my end because I didn't get time to get in the studio.
Okay, Representative Colbert, you can hear us now?
He's not going to. It's not going to be clear until they actually do it.
All right, can you? Okay, I don't know.
I can't do it because I'm not in it. Here, I'll go do it. I'll go do it. You guys go ahead.
Can you hear us though?
No, I don't think. I think Lofa is right. He has.
Yeah,
He's working on it. So quickly off that point, I was saying because Ben, I mentioned Ben, there will be costs attached to these initiatives. What we're gonna judge will be the implementation, right? You remember when President Weah took over, when he had that little beautiful speech at SKD, we said it sounded nice and promising, but implementation is what we're gonna judge. So I'll be honest with you. I think that it was, a speech that was better. I think they were smart in condensing it, right? That's brilliant. I'm not a fan of long speeches, anyways. I think, though, just a little suggestion for people who want some level of details that after you give that kind of compact speech, provide an opportunity where people can actually get access to a more detailed, right, analysis in terms of implementation strategies and all of that stuff to satisfy that component. So I would laud it, right, compared to what we've had before. Does that mean that we, believe that everything's going to occur or happen as is being told? No, but I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. And the only way we'll be able to tell definitively if that particular speech matches up would be based upon implementation. That's my focus.
At least he's back now. Representative Cordova, you can hear us, right?
Yeah, I'm hearing you for now.
Good. So my quick question, do you think he will do the war crimes court? Do you trust that President Boyka would do the war crimes court as he said in his inaugural address? Do you believe so?
Well, he had no authority. He couldn't say it because I believe since after the election, this is the, I think, fourth time that he and Prince Johnson have come face to face. So he knew Prince Johnson was there today, and people told him that Prince Johnson was there today. He now wanted any tension. So they decided to leave off the portion of the War Economic Crime Code. But let me tell you something. When Jeremiah Kun went to Ghana, he met with people from the US. And he made commitment. Jeremiah Kun and Thomas Fala was supposed to be censured. He made commitment to the people. When he left, I was opportune to say to the people. And he made commitment that he would put Prince Johnson on the bus. So they will have to do it. I don't care what Prince Johnson do. The War Economic Crime Code will come. And very soon. And those are some of the things they told them, they told President Boakai, that if they don't bring the War Economic Crime Code, they will face some serious issue with international support. So we are going to push it. I'll be resubmitting it next week because we're trying to put it together. I'll be resubmitting it next week, and I will be the chief sponsor, and we'll have people to sign it. We will take it, and we will pass it and send it to the Senate. When it gets to the Senate, Prince Johnson will be saying that right there, it will pass. The War Economic Crime Code will be established in this country, and very, very soon. It's not nothing that will be it will delay about. Very, 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 very soon. We will not get support of some people from Nimba County because they see Prince Johnson is their godfather, like the way Pope P. Joseph Boakai is their godfather, so they will have to support anything Joseph Boakai do. For me, I'm an independent candidate. I support what the Liberian people want. The Liberian people petition us that they want War Economic Crime Code, and it must come.
But Honorable Tomalin, just a second. That is for what you stated here is very scary for the president of the Republic of Liberia to be afraid because a senator sitting in a place where he's making a speech and he refused after making that vague speech that had nothing in. He refused to even mention the War Economic Crimes Code because the senator is standing there looking at him. What you seeing now? How can we even believe that when even the justice minister that was nominated earlier on, Masekwe, were removed and another justice minister was nominated, and just to satisfy Prince Johnson, as the streets are saying right now. So how do we believe that even that will pass when it gets to where it's supposed to get? When the president of the great Liberia is afraid, let's say, kind of afraid of a certain senator because he was able to dance with the devil to become a president. And that's my question.
So the issue is, let me be very frank with you. President Boakai do not have no authority. President Boakai and Kun are playing game with Prince Johnson. and you will get to know it very soon. When I bring that paper on the floor, it will pass. It will not take no time. We'll get a signature to pass it to the Senate. When it gets to the Senate, it will not take no time. It will pass. The war and economic crankle. Joseph Walker wanted to do like, oh, the horse brought it, we can't say nothing. We need to respect the rule of law. That's the excuse he will find. He knew about it. That's the process, and the process will go on. The war and economic crankle will come.
Professor Kennedy.
Yeah, I mean, this is revealing, like we said early on, but let me just say real quick to Representative Koloba, I hope your trip to Ghana for your surgery is successful. I know you said you had that accident. I hope you get well soon and you have a successful trip for your treatment to Ghana. With that being said, I will also mention that in the speech, the president also mentioned he was going to have like an insurance program to help people. In fact, let me just leave that aside, but let me just say one thing to you, Representative. What I'm hearing is you're saying that the current vice president have information that the U.S. government is not going to do a whole lot of business with Liberia until we have this war and economic crime court instituted in Liberia. I just want to make sure that's what I'm hearing, because that's revealing, it's what the people wanted, but that's what you're saying. You're on mute, Representative.
That's the number one thing they told him. Because they put not one of the same for Ambassador Bwaka to discuss the issue. They sent for print, Jeremiah Kun, because they know, and they show you all the documents. They got evidence on Jeremiah Kun. Jeremiah Kun is very corrupt. Jeremiah Kun, one of the main persons that helped George Weah to feel. When you hear the person say money went to the ministry, the legislature was sending money here and going for it. It is Jeremiah Kun work. You remember when former President Weah went face to face with Jeremiah Kun on a traditional something, that committee that was set up. You know that George Weah did not shake Jeremiah Kun here. Look for that video and watch it. He refused because he felt betrayed by Jeremiah Kun. And who Jeremiah Kun is. Look, Joseph Bogaja getting a friend for nothing. The war economic crankle will come. But he listened to Prince Johnny Somo in a church. By the time Joseph Bogaja reached the war economic crankle, he started going, he wasting his time. The court will come and we will go there. The court is not only about Prince Johnson, it's about us that fought war. We harass people, we brutalize people, we kill people, and we need to go there. So next time when war comes, Ben Sanvee and other people will not take gun to say we went for a war. That's the precedent that needs to be set.
Yeah, Representative, you can rest assured Ben Sanvee will not take gun whether it's in a war or not in a war.
I know, right?
you know Ben Sanvee that small boy, you know?
Yeah, bro. You can feel outside. Before they got taking a row with him.
But let me finish with this last one. So we talk about grading the State of the Nation address. How will you grade this first week in office? We saw what happened at the inauguration. We saw the nominations and a lot of the issues going on. We saw people calling for a declaration of assets. We saw nominations of the Justice Minister and some of the criticism with that. How will you grade this first week, considering President Boyka is here to rescue the nation? How do you grade the first week?
Look, I don't see anything that came out from that speech. Like I said, when they brought President Boyka, they brought one chair for him to sit down on it. And I played enough for a visitor to sit down. That play is when you come before. That's what they call a shot. Because they call attention from that. When you watch the program, before we even started, the speaker said for me, I know what you were telling me. I know what advice you were giving me. I said, Mr. Speaker, I was sent out to do a piece of work. Nobody will bring a horse to public ridicule. We're not going to set a bad example here. So when I get ready, I will talk what I want to talk. And you listen to what I want to say. You can't come and say, rehearse. What are you going to say, rehearse? No. No, I don't rehearse the people. They brought you up and you said that President Boyka is not well. The people do not want to admit that he's not well. So that's what they call it for a short. Just for him to say something to say, he came there, he spoke. Those are all rhetorics. Nothing is going to come out of what he said. He said, "Must take drug test." Is he ready for to do drug test? We do it on Broad Street, so we can see who taking coups, so we can see who drinking palm wine, drinking key juice. You know, we need to be real with situation. And the thing he talk about, it will come up. Drug test will come. You watch the president. He want to get ready to say, "Stop him." It will come. They will take the drug test. Let's see who are taking drugs, who are drinking king juice. So now when you drink, you misbehave. It's not only people that take drugs. People get drunk and misbehave. Some of us get very, very drunk and misbehave. If we are government officials, will get drunk. I will behave the way we behave. So we need to be clear. I will be the first. If the president don't want to take it, I will stay on Broad Street. They put it down. I do my drug test. I do it for King Jew. One thing again, anything I can make for her, I will do all the tests for it. And then my tests be public and published for everybody to see. Because I don't want my post saying they make it get drunk. People say I don't smoke opium. I have never ever tasted opium before. And they will test me for a cigarette. Ordinary cigarette, I will take tests for it. Ordinary cigarette, I will take tests for it. We did not stop joking with the level of the people. Increase the salary price. Then we'll know you serious. Then we'll know you that was what we campaign on. Get rid of coups. Can they go and get rid of coups? No. They can't. They can't even go 25%. Because government officials, we the PB people, we in the coups business good. Not because we're not in the ghetto, but we take it in our homes. And you will see plenty of people not take the drug test. Plenty of people not take it.
Keff Hassan.
Let Robert come in.
Oh, okay.
And Robert, sorry, I didn't mean to take you.
You know you always doing it, but you always take it.
But Lofa didn't come before Robert.
No, Robert came in before me.
Yeah.
Mr. Moderator, is that Ben? Moderator, are you?
Hey, Keff.
Go ahead. Go
ahead. Honorable Colbert, let me ask you this. You spoke about the 300, I think 75 or $85,000 dollars. I saw a clip between you and Chairman Luther Tappe, and he said the money coming from the account of the Unity Party. Can you speak on that?
Kev, let me say good to see you again.
Yeah.
We're all in the opposition together now. And we have to get ready to keep the country moving and to keep the ruling party feet to the fire. Kev, let me tell you something. People have been very deceptive. Sorry, I don't speak English, so when I'm speaking the wrong way, you correct me, please. People have been very deceptive in presenting things to the Liberian people. No, people are selling positions in the country. Let me tell you one quick story before I go to Brahma Camara. They went to one beach. One crown man, one of my in-law got on a beach. I will call the beach name. Brahma Camara took money from people for job. When they went to the beach, Brahma Camara went to go beg Kofi Wooden to go talk to the president. So the president can console the people to bring them to the face of, how you call it, something, to give the people job. And Kofi, when he heard the man food, the man said, no, we can talk to the president. The people are selling positions. The people are selling jobs. Say, yeah, I can say. I said, Brahma Camara. I said somebody different. Brahma Camara. Brahma Camara is going around taking money from people, say he will get them 10 position to Central Bank. Central Bank, threatening people from Central Bank. LRA put I got 10 position. Threatening them. Is this the kind of country we're going to go wrong, Kev? Those people took the money. Those people took money. Look, their government has started mortgaging the Liberian poor asset. And they want to get the money from. Just about have money to eat for. Before job, we are getting money to go to the hospital. Just about have money to eat for. Costa used to take money from what a many water spoon. Himself admitted that water spoon was feeding him, sending him 3,000 every month. Jacob are calling him to go for the money. So that now they get money. They have money for the couldn't pay the rent, they throw their answer. Keep the post are joking. And these are things that people don't want us to say. I said it during John Wiata. I will say it today. Look, now I don't present myself to be somebody that really dignify the work. Because when you dignify the job, when you go for you will get stroke. There were people die. When it come, it come. Kev, these people, they gave them bribe. Yeah, people bribe in the government that the money they use it so. They don't have no money in their account. $5 they don't have there.
So when you say Joe Baka is corrupt,
You don't listen to me when I talk. I said Joseph Baka is an embarrassment. He corrupt. I don't mix my words with things. As long as I knew, Joseph Baka told me that he don't have money. I went to look for money 3-4 times. I bought my own gas, tell my own people to go and come. Joseph Baka said he don't have money. Joseph Baka, it's not bad to sympathize with the people. I'm not saying it's bad. No, we need to stop before the contest fall. Oh, people tell me when to sympathize. That's not the issue. We tell you, thank you for sympathizing with the poor total time. But where did he get the money from? Where? They said nobody more ask question. For what? I asked Joe we are. I'm gonna ask Joseph Baka for what? Who let Joseph Baka money me? I single-handedly made Joseph Baka president of this country. I raised my life. I raised my blood. I raised everything to get in the street to make sure that the Joseph Baka come to power so the people can see what he will do. And today he has failed the Liberian people. Nothing good can come out of Joseph Baka.
Duke.
Thank you, Honorable Koluba. It's great to see you here. Let me acknowledge the work that you've put in, even though there will be disagreements, in terms of stands taken during the election. Honorable Koluba, let me just start off on a little softer note. I watched several clips of you and Beaufort Chambers, and I knew it was a challenging time, and it almost felt like you were being censored. How can you compare your current experience with the new speaker versus your past experience with the previous speaker?
So before we go to the John session today, I want to answer Mr. Speaker. I agree I not voted for you, but this is the change you wanted. And I regret not voting for you. I hope you do not be bought by the executive. If we send any paper to the executive that don't honor it, I will write to send for that minister so we can send for him to show cause why he want to disrespect the national legislature. Like I was telling the speaker today, I say, we are the only party that can fire. Anytime we feel that, we can impeach president. We can impeach chief justice. Who can impeach us? Who have done it says yes. So the authority will get, we don't want you to sell it. And you give me the assurance that you will not sell it, and we'll be friends. Look, sometimes I use words out of frustration. And we will soon get to the point where we use words out of frustration. I see some unity party people acting like the brave. We'll arrest that man. We'll get rid of that man. Let me tell you something. The day somebody attack my person, Joseph Baka will feel it. The day somebody attack my left, Joseph Baka will feel it. And he will feel it the wrong way and the rude way ever that he will ever regret. Why the people attack my president? Our job is to talk. It was because of my talking, people left from Grand came on candidate to come register to vote for me. It was not because I gave them money, they came on their own. And people believe in me. We need to strengthen this country. If there's no opposition, who will talk? How do the government do their work? Even in the church, when you hear the pastor say, I rebuke in the name of Jesus, Satan can make the pastor and bishop to work. If there are no Satan, there would be no church. Who you will rebuke?
That's
you see, my brother, that's it.
Thank you, Honorable Colbert. My final question, number one, corruption has been a part, sadly, for a long time. And when we hear the current president making this declaration that he's going to wage a war on corruption, and everything you said tonight, it becomes disheartening. A man like Prince Johnson, that's been sanctioned for being, using public office, as a form of corruption, has been somebody that a lot of people feared in our country. We see that with the current president. This is a man that goes on his pulpit and openly threaten people. And actually, the last time when he spoke, he did mention, go back to the video, that the decision of the current president to talk about war crimes courts put in fear in people, almost hinting that any attempt to establish a court could result into some kind of conflict in the country. My question to you, though, are you afraid of Prince Johnson? If not, what are those stands that you're going to take in addition to presenting the bill to your colleagues to pass, to be able to hold him accountable? What if after this appearance tonight that Prince Johnson goes on his pulpit and begins to attack you? What would be your stance? And then finally, how will you make sure that not only is this president held accountable, but individuals who are in this government that have actually been involved in past corruption, how are you going to show that they will be held accountable for their actions against the state?
So let me say to you people, Joseph Baka will not prosecute anybody for corruption, because Joseph Baka himself is corrupt. Joseph Baka need to tell us what the 360,000 keep on to give to the federal district, what he called the 10 million Liberian dollar from, with the 200 bag of rest, that is equivalent to almost 55,000 US. No, Prince Johnson bluffing. Prince Johnson making big mouth. Prince Johnson can't do nothing. Prince Johnson never fought war. Prince Johnson used to be behind the line when the children go, they run away, they come on the front line, kid there. Prince Johnson never fought no war. Now Prince Johnson captured though. Now people when captured though and captured no Prince Johnson. Now big more Prince Johnson making. And he like said that big more. He did Prince Johnson can't hear me tell he said that big more. They said Ramon can fight that issue. Let me tell you the truth today, that big more Prince Johnson making. Prince Johnson can't do nothing when they're grabbing, Nobody want to follow Prince Johnson to go for a war anymore. Nobody. Now bluff. Prince Johnson bluffing. When he's finished running the GB, he got nothing to say, he bluff. The War Economic Crime Code will come. I am introducing that paper. Now big more Prince Johnson when he can't do nothing, now bluffing on. Who Prince Johnson can make scare in the country? You can make all of this scare with Bucket. Prince Johnson can make nobody scare in the country, that beat up, that bluff. The code will come. So nobody must say, but Joe Weah was there, why he didn't bring the code. The reason why I moved Joe Weah because he didn't bring the code. So we brought you not to bring the code. We want to go back to Joe Weah. Let us do what we're supposed to do to make the country okay. Joe Weah gone. According to us, Joe Weah was not correct, we move him. So I will say going back to Joe Weah. And Yapo say, you was there, why he didn't bring the code. So if they didn't bring it, we can bring it. I want to say change. When Prince Johnson was supporting Joe Weah here, the United Party say, oh, why are going to make Cranko? Why are going to make Cranko? But people is supporting United Party today, now why are going to make Cranko? It will come. Nothing will stop it. Prince Johnson bluffing.
Peabody.
Honorable Yeke, good to see you, man. Good to see you, and welcome again. Let me ask you, Cornelia Kra.
Who's that?
From Cornelius Kra from Prince Johnson's party.
Now who talking?
Yeah, Peabody.
Oh,
Cornelia Kra, right?
Peabody.
I think Cooper Kra, right?
Cooper Kra, sorry. Cooper Kra was nominated to be Justice Minister. He's coming from Prince Johnson's party. Do you think Prince Johnson is having a way?
No. Don't forget about Cooper Kra. Cooper Kra ain't got nothing to do with the war. No. Cooper Kra will not say nothing. We will forward will be prosecuted. Cooper Kra can do nothing. All that thing Prince Johnson on a show. All that thing Prince Johnson on a show. Prince Johnson making movies. All that thing on a show. That the people when you came out and went to Farmington, against one that you also to pay for it, he didn't pay. So after the show, you got to pay.
Okay, thank you. I owe you one. let's talk about Prince Johnson. Yesterday, Prince Johnson said that if Barker try anything, he got his men then ready to defend him. What's he talking about? Or that just one of the regular big mouth?
One man. And I think Emilio's here. Prince Johnson not got no men behind him. They may have men behind him for the point went to a chair and told why a chair you couldn't talk. He ran away. Oh man, you told that so. Why are you making Prince Johnson people for? Why are you making Prince Johnson people for? Prince Johnson not got no strength. Prince Johnson never went on front line to shoot gun. Prince Johnson was always saying that and say, y'all go there. Y'all go there like all Prince Johnson did. No, we went on front line. We went on front line. 2001, 2002, 2003, our police officer, I used to go on the front line with militia and we'll come back to protect the city. Prince Johnson now went nowhere. I was the only police officer that used to arrest generals for looting. Check the history of the country. You can have your big gun when they say you're coming. I will grab you. Prince Johnson making sure. And that show will soon end.
Okay, let me end here. You said that Barker has some people that were recycled. He's bringing some people back. Who are those people that he's bringing back that he shouldn't be?
Bama Kamara. The Dauda police. The DA boss. And other people. They plan their game name all. Those are people they got nobody in DA that can be a good DA director. They don't have anybody in the police that can be better police director. What are we playing with the puffer? So the day of that, then I mean police for breakdown. Huh? So the day Bama Kamara there no more. There'll be no finance minister. No. The people came to loot their country again the same way they looted it. That was the process. People also start hailing me because I saw it. For the day Joseph Barker lied to me, I gave up on them. You can get nothing good all of them but deception.
Robert Gagwa.
Thank you. Representative Koluba, welcome to the closing argument. I've never interacted with you before. I do not know you personally. I've heard a lot about you, and it's great to be interacting with you. I wanted to talk about the War on Economic Crimes quote, but I think you have admitted repeatedly that you, at some point, participated in the on civil crisis in our country, and I'm sure that you will avail yourself to answer questions. But I want to be very blunt with you. There are some, like myself, who have major concerns about your deportment. And when I say your deportment, I'm basically saying your behavior. Your approach to, as a representative, as a public figure, and as a man that young men and women look up to, in some way, in some form. I've seen you disagree with your former President George Weah, and I've also seen you disagree with the current president. But there's this thing called respect for the office of the president. And respect for the office of the president is quite different from respect for the holder of the president, right? And there's certain standards that you follow with regards to respecting the office of the president. Let me ask you this question. Do you think that Mr. Yeka Kolubai can make salient points, can disagree fearlessly with the president and his colleagues without necessarily being what some might say as disruptive in the House of Representatives or disrespect to the office of the president? Do you think your behavior should be one that calls for concern?
So let me ask you the question. Have I been insultive to President Barker?
I think to some extent, when you stand in the House of Representatives during debates and you says that Joseph Boakai is a damn criminal, I think you can disagree with the
No, I never said damn. I said Joseph Boakai is a criminal. Joseph Boakai is corrupt. I never said damn.
Yeah. But do you think generally, right? Do you think generally? And I want us to have a honest conversation, because a lot of things that you just said, I agree with some of what you're saying, right? But do you think that these things can be communicated in a more, I would say, in a more respectful, in a more orderly way? Do you think that that's something that you can take into consideration?
So let me tell you when I come in with a strong voice. Like we're in the house. We know very well Joseph Boakai don't have money. But Jeremiah Kun is telling me, Rachel Kun is telling me that Joseph Boakai took a personal money to identify with people. You know how insulting it is for you to tell me that we're behind Joseph Boakai every day. That Joseph Boakai took a personal money to identify with people. That's me. Joseph Boakai is a criminal. Joseph Boakai is corrupt. It is wrong to say somebody is corrupt. Or because of people, when the little men see, they say hero. When we see, we say imbecile. So what's the difference? I don't put kosu on my voice. Maybe you want me to put kosu on my voice. I don't do it. I will not be insulted until we reach a point where I have to be insulted. I'm not going to insult anybody. Somebody is corrupt, they corrupt. Somebody is a role, is a role. In a great United States, I can say Donald Trump a role. So what wrong with here that we can say, and we're practicing the system for America here. And now you're bringing all that child rep protection unit. When your man do something, you go to the police station. And now you're problem us when we practice it in your vest. What your vest for?
Okay, let me ask you my second question. You know, again, this is just my opinion, and I think that a lot of people who may see your outburst and the way you have expressed your disagreement to be concerning. And again, like I said, some of the issues that you champions are not bad issues. And so hopefully, given the fact that this is my first interaction with you, hopefully that's something that you could possibly take into consideration. I think you'll be more effective. You'll be more you will recruit a lot more fans and admirers if your deportment matches some sort of professionalism with regards to how you disagree with your colleagues and the office of the president. But let me ask you this question, and the other guys want to come in. You talked about going to Ghana for treatment, I think a surgery with your hand, and I wish you all the best. But let me ask you this: do you not think that you know, this is worrisome, and does it not bother you that as a long-standing lawmaker, that you will go to Ghana, and not just you, other high-profile government officials, the president, and privileged Liberians are going abroad for medical treatment for the simplest things that could be treated in Liberia? Do you think that you, as a lawmaker, have failed the Liberian people and have invested more in yourselves with the huge salary that you make, as opposed to investing in a sustainable and a quality health system for you, your families, and the Liberian people? Do you think this is an embarrassment that we continue to go abroad for medical treatment instead of investing in the health sector? And what could you possibly do about that?
It is a serious embarrassment. Let me be very honest with you. It is embarrassing. It is very disgraceful to us. But you know, I will expect that President Boakai come out tomorrow and say, going forward from today, I will not go outside Liberia for treatment. Everybody must take treatment here. I will take treatment here. Oh, they will not be treated here. I'm going to be treated here, right? Oh, they will not be treated. I'm going to be treated here. Let me tell you something. When the president, we were in power, because he never trusted the vaccine to take the vaccine here. I took my vaccine in Dubai. I told the Liberian people that Ben Sanvee they can blame me with this. I told them I went to Dubai to take my vaccine. When the president take treatment here, I will not go all of the country to take treatment anymore. Then that means the health sector is okay.
Okay, Honorable Koluba, thank you. Koluba, since the election of President Boakai, have you guys met? Have you met him one-on-one or to talk anything like to discuss about the way forward? Have you met him?
Well, normally when I make somebody president, I don't like to be friendly with presidents. I don't like it. I don't want to be influenced by anybody. I don't want for somebody to have control over me. I want to have my independent judgment. President Boakai and myself met 2 times since he became president. The second time was when they sent for me, they begged me to go to the house. While sitting in a living room with him, I hold my knee on spoon. Oh, you can go get money from Joseph Baga. You guys is corrupt. They all I want. You know what happened between him and myself? I work for him. You don't know me. The protocol say, why you going? I said, let me send me up. He said, who you calling me? I said, your president. I go out there, the AD can say, where you going? I said, oh, you want for me? I said, your president sent me up. I said, I'm going to one daybreak, I will have press conference. And more Ali was forced to get on spoon to retract, to make clarity on the statement that was made by Waterspoon. Joseph Baga set me up. I used to be sitting on a hard table where no people call as a minister to the point my camarade and I used to sit because I was important at that time. I used to sit on a hard table. I made Joseph Baga president. Joseph Baga is not going to be announced. Joseph Baga going to announce himself that he had been re-elected. I made Joseph Baga president with my blood, my sweat, with my bravery, caught in the street to celebrate. He didn't want to be friend of the president. People can say, oh, my man, I want to see the president. I don't want to see the president. I got nothing to do with him. He gets says their job, gets says their job. What I want from him? I left to lay pool. That was always in my short trouser. I gone. The reason why I can wear coat suit to that Capitol building is because that's the dress code. You give me to your wear slipper to that Capitol building and go to work.
Lofa.
Mr. Kolubak, welcome to the show. I guess I could call you nephew, right?
No, I'm not a nephew. That nephew, Joseph Baga was calling me. He was acting at Japan until you won election now. The nephew, not nephew, no more. You don't call me nephew. You don't call me small brother, or you call me Yeke. I'm not nephew to nobody.
Okay. Okay. I like that. Anyway, you complained during during the elections that you were disrespected. You were upset about it. You organized a press conference and spoke about how disrespectful the United Party was to you, and as a matter of fact, you weren't going to support them. A few days later, you were seen on a campaign trail again with bikes and young Liberians pushing for the election of Mr. Boykai, President Joseph Boykai today. A few months later, or weeks later, you pledged your support to the now Speaker of the House. And when you were opportune to exercise that constitutional mandate of yours, you then deceived him and voted for the individual you spoke against. You're here telling us that you support the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court. What guarantee do we have that? Well, before I even get to that point, let's start here. What influenced your decision to support Mr. Kuhn as compared to Fanatic Kofa? Was it tribal lines, or what was it that influenced your decision for you to deceive the candidate you promised to have support in the first place?
The only thing I can say to Fanatic, I deceived him. What happened beyond though, we were in a lot later. I don't see it happening anymore. I deceived Fanatic. I shouldn't have done it. Because we want change. We want the government to be balanced. And that is why we're pushing. But you know, when you want to take a decision, take that decision before you say to people. People can influence people. People can make people to change their decision. Not about money. I don't be moved by money. Money can move me. Oh, but so now I can basically not send me money before. See, somebody not send me money before. I'm not big to ice them if I need it. It's better to ice than to take money from somebody to do a piece of work. I don't do it. I deceive for nothing. But I watch the process going forward and see.
Okay. My second question is in that direction as well. What guarantee do we have for people like myself? I support and continue to ask for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court. We have been to places, DC, New York, and other places advocating for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court. And you appear to be one of those in the forefront of the advocacy for the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court, considering that you participated in the war. What guarantee do we have as supporters and advocates for the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court that you would not again give us a 360 turn because of whatever reason? What guarantee do we have?
Look, arbitrate for nothing. And watch the process and see. You will see the guarantee I will have. Then you will know that when I mean something, I mean it. Things happen. Things happen. When you want to take a decision, don't have meeting with people. Take your decision before you have meeting with people. And I was suppressed. A lot of things happen. I don't want to go back to it. And I made a mistake to say to a certain group of people at a certain time. So the War Economic Crime Code, that paper will surface. And I will push it. I will push it with my strength, with my blood, with my everything. Look, they got people that are just deceitful. You see them on my phone?
Mm-hmm.
I got messages in my phone from Yombly begging me. Most of the time, I used to put my phone on speaker for the youth chair of Unity Party because you are always behind me, right behind me. For the listen, you can when you not go to the other place today, will not be easy. When you not go to the place, the police are ingrate. The police are deceitful set of people. The police do not mean well for this country. I Yombly when last year call me, but she used to be begging me in the phone. You're not going to come back to her. She used to go in her own pastor region and he's so poor. I used to go there to correct the wrong. Oh, I sacrificed myself too much, eh? I raised my left too much to make Joseph Walker president. They made a sat down and lie to me. And nothing that caused there. But somebody lie to you, they lie to you.
True.
That one did not cause. Joseph Walker lied to me. But when we be in the OA, they don't rather bring any back. We just put one ole there, some be an old man. Any ole there, Joseph Walker now. Some be an OA, not bring any back, put any there. We voted for somebody that will be straight with the country. Somebody that will empower the youth. Somebody that will make the youth presence to be fair. People graduating from LU, UNU, other places. Then you go bring recycle politician. You put it. What if Burma Camara know that other people don't know? No, but administrators, they will sit there and their own men will do the work. What better work they can do? To set up a PB salary, to corrupt the system. Where were they? Joseph Balaga, don't tell the people they will not touch my pussy. When they touch my pussy, the words that were here, I would never hear before. I will talk. Nobody will be scared. When they touch my pussy, I will get frustrated. I will use voice that were meant to be used because of frustration. We're talking right now. Instead, we're talking no use in bad voice.
Right.
But when they touch my pussy, when I get to my platform, oh, Jesus Christ. So help me, God.
Mr. Koluba, finally, let me just throw this in there real quick. You mentioned Madam Yombi Kanga Lawrence and Senator Darius DeLorme, okay? And you mentioned the fact that they're deceitful. Do you see either of these individuals or lawmakers supporting the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court? And finally, have you declared your asset? If not, why not? Or updated your asset declaration?
I will declare my asset. When I slip by my trouser, I get me my asset. I will declare it. No, let me tell you something. They know their Facebook business. You need look
right.
When you want to appoint somebody, you need to say to them, let the person know their terms of reference. What are they going to do? You didn't say me, we didn't talk. Then you go out now on radio. Yeka is parallel. I said you and myself never talked before. Don't try it with me and provoke me to make people to feel that you and myself working together when we have not talked for 5 months. We have not talked about 5 months. Then you go and announce my name. You want to make more all of me? Hey, hide me. Don't do it to me. I didn't go to school. I don't know Pope. But don't make fun of me. I got sense. Common sense is what I got.
Chris.
So when you hold me that time, responding to him, it was the reason why I responded to him. We didn't talk. Tell me, say you come here appoint me. I fair boy appoint them, man. Now you appoint people. You just look at somebody and say, see, Tomalin, I appoint you. I appoint you to do what thing? See, Tomalin agree for the appointment. You can consult the person. Let the person agree. Let the person know the job. No. They just get a certain group of people that just see they can pay for other somebody. I'm desperate, you see me, so well, I never said crazy to work for you. You show me like you too much, well, come for you. You know the fishing hole can hook the cutter. Why him on your transfer to leave you behind? And what happened between Joseph Boga and myself now? We can never ever reconcile. Only God can reconcile us. Watch the process and see. He is ingrate. He has lied to me, put me under the impression, and the youth of the country will be employed. The youth in the diaspora that have not worked in government before, they will come showcase what they have learned. Have it been done? You look at Primo there, calling people, receiving money to get a job. Joseph Parker don't make decision for himself. People making decisions for Joseph Parker. And the Liberian will see it very soon. Joseph Parker don't know nothing that's going on. They just read the people. You saw one recording, they brought the press to him. He's asking him, what they are coming to now? What they are coming? That recording all around. What they are coming to now? Now they can use him. When you talk, they say about rule. They're not rule, they're boldness. They see people that was celebrating me yesterday. They don't want me to talk to Joseph Parker. You think my criticism is about George Weah? I was insulting George Weah because he sees my babies, 2 weeks old baby's passport. He sees the passport 2 weeks old. That means he's coming frustrated. I want to use voice on him. And when Joseph Parker do the same thing, no words will come double than that.
Chris.
Yeah, and Honorable Koluba, oh God, sorry. Honorable Koluba, I really like you when you are your authentic self. And that's one of the things that we appreciate about you. And I will always applaud you for being authentic. Means that you yourself, you don't have to be politically correct and you don't have to be anybody else. When somebody is corrupt, you will come and say they're corrupt. If the person is a criminal, they are a criminal. There is no words to mention. In Liberia, we always like to just, you got to respect this and you got to respect that. But when something is wrong, it's wrong. And I appreciate you. And I hope you remain who you are. The only thing that I would not encourage you to use the Congo Post Sunday school words, because it's not good for people to use those words.
They tell them to attack my left. They will not attack my left.
Well,
I will not use it.
If that's who he is, then don't caution him. Let him be who he is.
No, I mean when he can use his Sunday school words when he attacks.
No, there's no if and buts about it. We're talking
but
about.
But if he's sitting in the House of Representatives and he's sitting among his colleagues, he will not be. He shouldn't use those words, but he has to be his authentic self because that's who he is.
You're authentic and professional in your approach. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but you were saying that he has to respect.
Thank you for saying I would try. I like that. Thank you, Mr. Representative.
Exactly. You will try. That's the try that you won't use the Sunday school words, but being your authentic self and speaking to the issues and speaking hard on it, I think you should remain who you are when it comes to that.
But I can say you raw, right?
Yeah, if I see you can call me a raw. Yeah. If somebody see you can
no,
say
I'm speaking to my brother. Let me answer that question. I can say you raw, right?
Yeah, in a southern tone. That's fine. Yes.
In a southern tone.
Not unless he put Mr. in front of it.
I know, right? Mr.
But my question actually is that for the asset declaration, right? The number 1 person in the country and the number 2 person in the country, they were planning to, declare the asset. By right, they were supposed to declare the assets before they even take office. And that's the reason why when Joseph Boakai was even announced president, and he started to donate money and to the people from Total, when you started to complain, for me, I agree with you for that, because it was kind of scary, although he was not sworn in, but being declared president, and 1 minute you got money, and the next minute you say, 1 minute you don't have no money, you broke. And the next minute now you say you got so much money, giving $52,000 to the victims of what happened, the crisis that happened in Total. Then they start to make people to be concerned. But assets declaration is supposed to happen before the president ever take office. And the president has taken office, and he and his vice president has still not declared the assets to the public. Now they could declare the assets. I don't know whether it's in hidden, but it's not to the public at this point in time. And it worries some because, as you said, most of them getting kickbacks. They are selling, getting promising people stuff, and they paying them for it. And everybody knows Joseph Boakai associated with the whole Lebanese people community, that they were always in his office when he was vice president. So we don't know what's going on right now. And I know you have not declared your assets yourself, but your chief has not even declared your assets. So how can we even blame you? So what going forward, what we're going to see, what actions you guys going to put in place for Joseph Boakai to declare his assets? We complain, but we are not doing it. And now Joseph Boakai is following in suit. How long will it take, since you work with them, how long will it take for us to see this man and his vice president declare their assets?
So the reason why I'm taking some time, Joseph Boakai told the whole world that our money was broke. So what did they will put there? That's the way they find it. And when they put something there, they will tell where it come from. If Joseph Boakai don't declare assets, I will not declare my own. I want to know. Joseph Boakai told the whole world he was broke. I want to know how much money he get now. And people getting versed. I really care time for people to have force to be represented. No, I want to lead the stage, and my name will not die. My name will never. No, the day I enter the US will be like Donald Trump or what a man out there and I said, why are president in America?
Biden.
Joe Biden.
Biden. The day I enter America, it will be like Biden enter America. Because I got fame. Nobody can make me unpopular. I see the people that getting there, I see their face. What was saying there, they were clapping. They made a hero. They made a hero. So they want to roll a good role. You want to roll a bad role. It happened to Musa Belete. When Musa Belete was not supporting United Party, Musa Belete was the best role. By the time he said I went on a United Party, as vice president, Musa Belete did not roll again. The title change. What kind of reality is that? You want to roll clean my own tele? It don't work that way. Reality is, when Joseph Boakai declare asset, I will declare my own. When he not declare, I will not declare. I want to know how much money Joseph Boakai get now. After Stanton used to fee, after John Weir used to get money to go to hospital, how much money he get now? I want to know.
Yeah, thank you. So my second question is that we know that the bicentennial, was organized, and a lot of Liberians around the world complain that it was really not organized well. At this point now, you yourself, I think I heard you say that, the bicentennial was messed up and everything. Now, seeing the bicentennial, comparing it with the inauguration, and I just want to know how you feel, because comparing it, then we need to apologize. One of my friends has said to the people who planned the bicentennial, because at least they were way better than the inauguration ever was. So, how do you feel about the inauguration, and what were your pros and cons about it? How you, whether the good side and the bad side, which I just want you to
I was not there. I chose not to go there because I'm not going to be given the opportunity to say something. Joseph Boakai and myself can only send us somewhere where we have the opportunity to critique him. They're not to send us somewhere for me to listen to you. Everything he can say will not be truthful. He can never tell the truth again. I gave up. Joseph Boakai lost his. Give up on him. So I was not there. I can say nothing about it because I was not there. I will know all it on radio. But the program today were well organized, well planned, and properly planned. And the only thing that to say, ladies and gentlemen of the legislature, your hello, and go back. You can't explain, tell me to say what you really say. You will take drugs test. You will send 10,000 you for training in 4 months. The people that take 4 months to be 20 years. 20 months, you think that 4 years? 20 months won't finish. 4 months won't finish. He said in how many days? In 100 days, all the road in the town be already impossible. You see the deception? And we'll hold into a field for it. When the 100 days to finish, the people that saw the crowd must start crying now. Then the crowd so can see the tears because when 100 days finish, I will go drive on the road. The probably when I'm really, I go take picture and come back.
Well, I was just before I close, I was just like disappointed in the whole drug testing because the promises are just too many. 1 minute drug test, you say you will declare your asset has not been declared, you finish taking office. Corruption is one of the biggest drugs that in Liberia. So we prefer the president to fight corruption at this point in time and stop doing nepotism in his government because he's already hiring his friends, his nephew, then already finished taking high positions. So we want those kind of things to not be done in the government. We don't care about, personally, I don't care about drug tests at all because I know it's just a talk, it's not going to happen. But we really want this government to change the trajectory of the country and push for a better, rescue country because that's why they ran on and we expect them to rescue Liberia. Thank you, Honorable Konuba.
Look, the drugs test will go on. I'm waiting for 1 month. After that 1 month, I will write a communication to send for the Minister of State to find out from them when the drugs test starting. People are trying to look for so those statements that Joseph Walker made, the problem in point is so. We'll do that drugs test, and we'll make the report public because people think someone okay, take cigarette. I never smoked cigarette before. I just got a mind to say, when I tell you, say we'll pass through the wall, forget it. We'll pass through it. Now who I am. Liquor, don't waste your time. Drugs, cigarette, don't waste your time.
Yeah.
You can find one in my system.
Representative Kolobak, I want you to think about this for a second, right? Look at all the things that you're saying today, all the information you have today. You're calling people ingrates. You're saying people are ungrateful. You seem to have been deceived. Think about all this information you have today. If you had this information on October 1st of 2023, who would you have supported in the election?
I was never going to vote for Joseph Walker. Joseph Walker deceived us that ran campaign for him. Look, I'm not talking.
Well, you criticized the ruling establishment, so who you would have supported? You criticized the ruling establishment. You criticized George. We have vehemently.
No, I go avoid about comments.
So
how
do we? Okay, so I want you to think about this now. So how do we educate the young people so they don't leave? It's like, you're taking a sheep and the sheep jumps off a cliff and then you say, oh, we made a mistake. Going forward, what information do you need? How do you train or teach the young people a teachable moment that say, look, this is what Liberian politicians tend to do. How do we prevent this from happening in the future? That's what I want to understand.
Look, the young people will educate themselves. Because going forward in the first 2-3 months, the country will get harder than before.
But we're not making the same mistakes that you made because
we're not making the same mistakes. Look, somebody need to feel something before you tell them what to do. If they put on feeder for the first 2-3 months, when you tell them, oh, the papa just sat down, you look at one young man that just came 40, you call him papa whole day. I saw Joseph Walker jogging in from in a young boy. Just for the presidency. Put me on the impression that he now old man. He fit. So now when I say he couldn't make it a hit, I said that's not true. Joseph Baga was playing trick. He now wanted to end his speech. Because Joseph Baga put me under the impression that you're young boy. Like you're 40. Can you imagine for President they say Joseph Baga talking from me? So the young people but given the fight more coups get on the increase. Good. Against our coups. The security put in the coups business. They didn't want facilitating the coups business. No. I want a police officer that was working for Chelsea that is special presidential drugs task force that Chelsea put together. I arrested the late Momo Jiba. I arrested fire service director. I arrested people. Last time when I arrest you, when Chelsea will not free you, I will free you. When we not free you, supposed to spend 1 year, 3 months in jail. I was using an SSS Jeep as a police officer, SSS 17. I arrested generals for drugs. And when you start that, the layman will know what happening. But so long we're taking the drug, you not arrest you on. What the layman will say? Nothing. People are not serious and the police will not do nothing. People can make money for themselves. When they come about people that Joseph Baga bringing to power, forget it. Nothing. You will come on the street and say, you can sell it. You need the recording. You can get that. Joseph Baga lost this.
All right. I want to ask you in regards to that $5,000. You said that Baga gave her $5,000 to lawmaker. I want to ask you about that.
Thank you.
I didn't hear you.
You can't. I want to talk about the $5,000 that you said was giving to some of the lawmakers. I think to vote for Kuhn and all of that. They were bribed with $5,000. Can you talk about that?
No, we're not giving a lawmaker. Joseph Baga took the Liberal money on a bribe he received from business people and gave money to parties. You can't say you will get money to district and you go take it and get to your party coordinator. Is your party coordinator the head for the district? When you give it to commissioners, superintendent, then you got interest in the people, but you have interest in the party people. Check all the people that receive the money. That's why you need the party coordinators. Prove me wrong. I did not receive it. According to the information, the coordinator of district number 10 received it from Unity Party. So if I let people, get to make clear, you were very, very specific. He say, my party see. So you drawing land now. When we are drawing on the land to the poor get there. He say, everybody vote for your own. They vote from the south. If for example, John we are, people go there. While they vote, but yeah, in Lofa and Nima say, we vote for our own. The other people not vote for their own. The money that was given to Joseph Baga as a bribe was received by his coordinators. Unity Party people. So check the record is there. As the people that receive the money, all of them are Unity Party people, coordinators. They say having part of the Unity Party office. Now the place where the district party here. I don't know the town where you can go to. What's wrong with these people?
Wow, Honorable Karuba, yeah, before I bring Dugan now, somebody just admitted, somebody said you about the issue about Jiba. You did bring him in cough. Wow, you are brave. You rest the great Momo Jiba that during those days. Wow. But Duke, you come in.
Yes. Honorable Kaluba, thanks again for your time and some of the clarity you brought to the questions are being asked today. I want to start off on appointees of government. Number one, you spoke about issue, and I was surprised to note that you have an experience in dealing with the current situation when it comes to the drug pandemic in Liberia. I was fortunate enough to visit Liberia 2 times last year. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see, but hopefully next time I can have the opportunity. But one of the things that really struck me is that when you go across the country, there's always some pockets of activities by the people, unfortunately, we call Zocos. You just mentioned some of the steps that you took in holding people who were official or high elements within, the government accountable. We've seen that today the current president declared that a major issue, I believe a public health issue, and then appointed some individuals to be able to tackle that. My question to you, though, is that there's been an appointment made for the Drug Enforcement Agency. Do you think that individual will be able to handle that particular situation? And also, what will be your take in dealing with something like that, of that magnitude, holding people accountable? What will be some of the ideas that you put forth to make sure that we're fixing that issue? That's my first question. I think you're on mute, Honorable. The Honorable is muted.
Personal problem with A.B. Kroma and Gregory Kroma. But the president made a commitment to me that they see people that worked before, they will give other people a chance. Now I'm making reference to those people. But I got no personal problem with them. Can A.B. Kroma do a good DEA work? Yes, he can. He can. If you don't have any interference. When I was raiding drugs, I was reporting to Chancellor himself. Not even the Director police. I was a police officer. I was reporting to Chancellor. Now when he gave me an SSS Jeep to use to raid drugs, and I raided drugs without fear or favor. But if A.B. Kroma will have interference, you know my money dropped the nigga. I arrested Nigerians. They took huge sum of money given to me. I arrested them, put them to jail, and carry the money to Chancellor. Chancellor said, hey, they gave you the money. I said, yeah, Chief. He said, go eat it. He arrested them. I said, yes. He said, you did your work. Look, drugs business get money, the money that be on drugs business. To get drugs out of the country, you need men to get it out. Me, I can't move by money. Money can move me. I don't know if money can move A.B. Kroma. If he decides to do a work, he can do it to the fullest. But he shouldn't be selective. I don't like selective justice. When the minister is caught with trust business, let him be prosecuted like the layman. When I grab Eddie Kenata, I handcuff him. Go on the oral. Ask the people, everybody now in our house with the Eddie Ken, I handcuff all of them in Pakistan. It was a deterrence. Chatula called me and said, you got your phone? I said, yeah, Chief. He said, you can keep me and bring my phone. I took the phone to Chatula and locked him up with all your people start ringing hard. They drop in, they can stop. No, let me tell you something. They drop in, I can minimize it 90%. Because any minister get linked with it, I will grab them. By the time Joseph Waka called me out there and said, Chief, you give me a job to do, you want me to do it? You can take the job. You made the job, don't let the job make you. But can A.B. Kroma do it? Maybe, or maybe you'll be saying, I got no authority, let me just be there and be eating. And that when your needs fall, be selective. He can represent it. He taking drugs, you're not arresting him. That's where the problem comes from. But if you're not selective, you can do your work.
Thank you, Honorable. My final question, I think this is an important one. I think tonight we've laid a lot of references on the current administration, which I believe you're doing so because you want to hold the current president accountable, and it's something that is commended, right? We should do that, even if we support people. But you've always been one of the harshest critics of the previous administration. In the past, Honorable, you have admitted that the past administration was corrupt, and you've referenced individuals who you believe had engaged in some act of corruption. On this show tonight, you also mentioned, if I'm correct, a possible nominee. I believe it's the a newly appointed finance minister, Boyma Kamara. Am I correct?
Yeah.
All right. You stated that you have reason to believe that he's also engaged in an act of corruption by accepting bribes for jobs in government. With that being said, you are a lawmaker. You are the watchdog, somebody who our people have entrusted to make sure that you're holding people like these accountable. since we're on the theme of accountability and holding the current administration accountable as well, taking into consideration that you have also made reference on the show that a government appointee, somebody who's been recommended to a really high office, is engaged in corruption. What are you going to do within your own legislative strength to hold that person accountable during the confirmation hearing, number one? What are you also going to do to ensure that those who have actually stolen from the Liberian people in the last administrations are also held accountable?
So I don't have the confirmation power. I cannot confirm. He's not coming before the lower house. He's going before the upper house. Will he be confirmed? Yes. Now what Yombly was placed there for. Anything Joseph Boakai bring him up pass. So you can get nothing on that place, but the board be confirmed. And my source is correct. My source has said to me that Buema Camara received money from people to move from 10 position to Central Bank LRA to put them there. Will he be confirmed? Yes, he'll be confirmed. But you think what Yombly there for? Yombly there to disagree with Joseph Boakai? Has she been thinking about being protected before? She has reached her peak. So she's going to protect that job. And to protect the job, to beat the drum and dance by the way of Joseph Boakai. If I was speaker, I cannot dance by the way of Joseph Boakai. No. Take the job tomorrow. Let my name roll in. We can get nothing on the Senate. The Senate will pass anything that go there. Look. Jeremiah Kuma, one of the biggest embarrassment of church we have. He's the president of the Senate. Any stealing of crocodile penny go there, Jeremiah will make sure it pass. So what we heading to? What thing will change? I want to see what real will change. When Jack Kabakoli them passing around receiving money from Lebanese people, protecting them. Joseph Boakai no. They carry the complete of Yombly and Delon. They know anything I it. They have been saying it. I was brave to say it. They know that true. Joseph Boakai know that true. But Joseph Boakai still took the man that he called a nephew and pointing to Noka and making officer in charge. You know, officer in charge can be there for 20 years. So not Joseph Boakai the president because he's not going for confirmation.
Guys, know yourself while he's talking. Know yourself while he's talking. Echo.
Joseph Boakai know that he's stealing to Noka good. So you know why he put a nephew there for? So they can divide Noka money.
Honorable, thanks for answering my question, and hopefully you use your relationship with people in the upper house to be able to bring that to the forefront because this is an important issue. Again, you're still a lawmaker. But again, it's good that we're holding the current administration accountable. Rightfully, we should do so. There have been people who were at the upper echelons of power in the last administration that have been accused in the past of being corrupt. What will you do to ensure that the current abusers of the law and those who previously abused by stealing from the Liberian people are held accountable? Can we look forward to a situation wherein you will pressure this government in addition to holding those that are in government accountable, but looking at individuals who have been at the forefront of scandal in that country accountable? Number one, we still have questions at the Ministry of Finance with Samuel Twe. There are accusations that have been made in the past about people like the Beaufort Chambers. There's been accusations made against people in the Way administration. If we're fighting the issue of corruption and we're admitting on the show that there are current members of the government that are currently corrupt, what can we do to make sure that we're not rendering partial judgment, but we're holding all of those people accountable? And in your capacity as a lawmaker, what can we look forward to that we can consider possibly your fight against that particular issue?
So, any all that I will start from George Weahtown and Wish on. Any all that I will start from George Weahtown and Wish on. If we want to all we must start from Ellington, where Joseph Boakai served 12 years as vice president. He admitted that he squandered opportunity. No, you don't know me. I'm a realist. You don't know me. You think I have the only personal problem I have with George Weah when he reduced my babies. That way I got better with George Weah. Look, Joseph Boakai said a scorner opportunity. The reason why the Liberal people not voted for Joseph Boakai 2017 because they fear early government was corrupt. Joseph Boakai said the reason why Ellen not supported him in 2017 because she said Joseph Boakai will prosecute her. So he got the authority now to prosecute and will look forward to him prosecuting for Ellen Johnson Senator. Any attempt to bring all from Joseph Boakai, from Joe Weah, I deem it as a waste on, and I deem it as something like that in the interest of the country, and I deem it like as somebody that want to bring chaos in the country.
Okay, thanks for the clarity, the honorable. Just on a lighter
Yes,
note,
do quickly. Let me just
yeah.
here. Guys, I would hate to do this again. I make this announcement almost every time here. You are all allowed to come and contribute to the conversation. But one more insult, and I'm not going to say anybody's name to shame them. But one more insult, I will block you. I hate to do this. I hate to be the bad guy on the show, but respect the audience and those that are on the show. Please, I'm just asking for that. Please, thank you, guys. Go ahead.
Thank you. And finally, guys, I'm not something yet. Honorable, you talk about appointment. Will you support the bid of Prophet Key to be the next cultural ambassador? Do you support Prophet Key?
I didn't get a question.
Do you support Prophet Key's bid to be the next cultural ambassador?
Well, it is the president's prerogative to announce who he want to announce.
You think he's competent?
If the president feel Prophet Key is the right person to come as cultural ambassador, it's okay for him. But when you ask me from my personal view, you want to be cultural ambassador, you must come to Liberia and come and lobby. Stop sitting out to where you are and come. Then you come. Then we'll know you want to be cultural ambassador. Or you want to be over and be talking now, you'll be cultural ambassador. Every day making people say, come, you can reach. So let him come. Let Joseph Boakai get in the job.
Thank you, Honorable.
Look, and let me say this.
Who's next?
I don't care about who is sorting. Don't leave the political cause. Letting Joseph Boakai not take to another guy again and nobody can talk to. You waste your time. We will criticize Joseph Boakai if it is necessary. Joseph Boakai embarrassed himself to go get money that he never had. Joseph Boakai embarrassed himself to go take 5,000 I gave to a party people. Where he calling from? That corruption. The code of conduct say section 3.2. Anybody that is elected and certificated is a public official. They not say inaugurated. Say your umpire just want to be there for Unity Party, you're not no poke. Say your Unity Party, you're not no poke. They say when election commission certificate you have become a public official. And when you get gave like more than $200 US, you must declare it in someone thing. Joseph Boakai will stay tell me where he got that money from. They're wasting their time. You will tell me where he got that money from. Until you can do that, I lost confidence in him. He corrupt and he got nowhere to carry the country. That's the because I got time for that. Can't attack my person. And Joseph Boakai will feed it.
And Mr. Cole, it's okay. I see your point here, but I just, again, there are reputable people who follow the platform. That's why we're just trying to limit the amount of disrespect, the insults, and all of those kind of things. It could go somewhere else, but we just don't want to tolerate that over here.
And next, Keff or Grace, one of your.
No, Grace already went again. I think it's Keff now. Grace left.
Keff.
Taking money to eat good.
Yeah.
Honorable Caliban, you I think you touched on this Jake issue. Well, a couple of years back, JMB went on, I think it's T Max Pilates show, saying he will never, ever appoint any of his family member into power. But his nephew, Jake, at Knockout, do you think it's one of GMB, how I would say, how you look for what? Do you think it's one of his way of deceiving the people? Is how he deceive the people to come to power now to see his family member at Knockout?
Don't mind Joseph Boga, man. Joseph Boga can call everybody nephew. Joseph Boga call Costa nephew. Joseph Boga call Mohali nephew. I mean Modad nephew. Joseph Boga can elect Chapo. Everybody that is nephew. When you want to use you, he call you nephew. But I mean what I mean Mohali like Joseph Boga nephew. You know that one? Jake Kabakwali is the real nephew to Joseph Boga. And Joseph Boga believe in Jake Kabakwali criminal act. That's why he getting beat up to steal more. What can all look at? When the money can look, both sat down, they saw how people are making money in the country. So they started taking their own the position they want. And that's what happening right now. Everybody been through that. You remember I said the past divided a job already during the campaign time? And what talking about job? Nobody divided a job. You only knew you were going to be protested. All of them knew that position. So we don't want working for them to come to the positions.
Let me ask you this: there's current well, I would not say investigation, but it's current case on Amin Moda as we speak on the FIB bank. Amin Moda, one of the folks that ran that bank down. Currently, he making some payment because he was audited for that. But because of that record, and JMB is putting him to commerce right now. I want you to talk about it because he said he coming to clean the system. But a man who was audited agreed of taking illegal money at FIB Bank. The documents are out there. He's going to face that in the confirmation hearing. I want you to speak on that. The thought process of JMB saying one thing, talking on the both sides of the mouth, saying one thing and doing another thing. Speak on that.
Look, when you check, Amin Moda taking money from FIB, Joseph Boga is involved. And that's more money Amin Moda spent on Joseph Boga. For Joseph Boga to go to party headquarters from a source, Amin Moda used to put money in Joseph Boga pocket for gas. When gas can to Joseph Boga, Amin Moda got to give money to him. Anytime go to the party headquarters, even to give money to the post to the party headquarters, everything came from Amin Moda. So Amin Moda got to get money back. He got to get money back. And that's the only way you can get it. So they decide to put in there. You think they're going somewhere? People going nowhere. For the time Joseph Boga lied to me, Joseph Boga lost his.
People money because Costa money, I mean money, who else money again? Who else spend money? I mean, Costa money, I mean mother, strength on what else, but then they probably ready to spend the money from people.
So yes. But let me ask you this, let me ask you everything you're saying now, and compared to what Costa said. So at this moment, we should believe what Costa said.
You got to. Look at that Joseph Boga nephew. What's that Joseph Boga nephew? When Joseph Boga used to go to the US, sometimes he will start to Costa play or he stepped to one man that came to the country like looking for job to look for John Sarr. He was on a team that was set up to work with the government. Check on that lady, you see one John Sarr in there. That man have not been to the country for more than 20 years. But because Joseph Boakai used to step to a place, Joseph Boakai put a knee on the paper. Check the list.
In Rhode Island.
Oh, okay. So that crazy now talking, huh?
No, you're right.
Wow. So for everything that we're hearing from you, so everything that Costa put out there has been proven that Costa is correct. You hear me? You hear me?
Everything Costa said are true. Look, you know the only problem I have with Costa. Well, Costa deceived George Weah and came to Joseph Boakai and went back. If our Costa, from the way I talked to look, let me pause on the secret today. I deceived my brother Abu Kamara. You know, Abu Kamara was trying to talk to me to leave the country. To strike a good deal in the second round for me to leave. I can call Abu Kamara brother-in-law. Yeah, Joseph Boakai can call everybody nephew. Now I can call everybody brother-in-law. And let me publicly, apologize to Abu Kamara. I say I love the country. Take my money now, also they gave me, and go sit down and enjoy my money good. But you know, when they're talking, I look at the Liberian people that want to change, and look at how much money that was offered. I took the Liberian people first over the money. And I publicly apologizing to Abu Kamara, right? It happened in the second round. There's an open apology to Abu Kamara. As you are listening to him, take that man 200,000, go sell it to Ghana, and enjoy myself. Good when put army, I say I was not well, I was sick. But then do it. I saw the Lebron profile. See the Lebron today that you hear them talking. So, you guys are in grade. You guys are in grade. Where were you people who are raising my left? I raised my left for somebody to do the same wrong thing.
That's a critical question.
I'm playing y'all.
I will take a phone calls.
Can I come here, please? Can I come in for a second? Yeah. So I kind of on someone just muted me. Can you hear me?
No, go ahead. We can hear you.
Can hear you.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, except the host just muted you until I ask it. Yo, look, I agree with you when you said that in an audit that starts from Weah term could be seen as a witch hunt. I concur. I agree with you 100%. And so you see that we can agree on something, right? I agree with you, and I think that
we'll always agree. Don't worry.
I like that, but I think that if we must address corruption, then it should not be selective. It should be across the board. So if this government is serious about fighting corruption and holding current and past government officials accountable, then they should start in 2005. And the government that Joseph Boakai worked as vice president. To your point, he did admit that a lot of opportunities were squandered, right? And so what are those opportunities? Why did the government not take those opportunities? Were funds made available for some of those infrastructure development that he mentioned that were not actually implemented? We need to know these things. So I do agree. But in the president's speech today, he talked about the fact that the servant were up to 7,000, over 7,000 employees. And that is troubling, right? That's a lot. That's a lot. We all know that the government is the highest employer in our country. But to have 7,000 Liberians that work for the government or employed by the government requires over $300 million in an annual budget, which account for literally 60-70% of the budget. So 70% of the budget or more goes towards salaries. Would you support the president interest in what he termed as the national tourism bill? I think that was something that was welcoming, and we can talk about the implementation part of how they intend to go about that. But obviously, we need a government, or we need a country where the private sector is the sector that creates jobs and not the government, right? So, would you support this national tourism bill when put forth in the House of Representatives?
We are going to look at it critically. We need to go through it. Not because I hear bill and just pass it. We want to do it differently this time around, where the bill will come before us, because doing President Dr. George Weah, the just need to bring budget, will pass it. We're all looking through it. And we don't want to go with that same system. We want to see in the budget. For me, I'm not a financial person, but I got people in my district that know about budget that I can take it to and will give me some ideas and say, look, you need to look at this, you need to look at this, they need to adjust this. And if the bill comes, we'll look at it. If it's in the interest of the liberal, not individual, not people that bring in the bill for their personal benefit. If it's in the interest of the people, we'll look at and pass it. We want to work for the people. We want the people to benefit from the resources. And that is what we campaign on. For change, rescue. We need to rescue the country.
Thank you. My last question to you. My last question to you, it speaks to what Professor Larry talked about earlier, right? You supported, at some point, you supported Alice Cummings, who many of us believed represented change, and not the Unity Party under Joseph Boakai. And a lot of questions was about whether or not Joseph Boakai was physically, not physically, but healthy, right, to carry out his responsibilities, given his age and his health and health concerns and so forth and so on, right? And I heard you joked about the fact that he jogged, trying to prove that he was healthy. I mean, many will argue that anyone can jog, right? It does not speak to their overall health, right? And it's been less than a week since this government has taken office. And by the way, I'm not a fan of Unity Party. I never believed that Unity Party represents a change, but they have been elected. They have a divided government. What would you say to those who might question your consistency on the issue of support or the contrary? What would you say to them that everything that you're saying on this platform right now, they can believe you, that you will hold this government feet to the fire, that you will do so responsibly, and that things will not change when he starts calling you nephew again? What do you say to them to say, look, I will be consistent this time?
So, look, in politics, I sat down with a great politician from Ghana. He told me, the person you can't convince, don't waste your time being that person. There are certain people that will not be convinced. They are resolved that because I talk to the demon god, Joseph Boakai, they can never believe me. See, I waste my time to convince those kind of people. People just see they look, all the ANC people that came from the diaspora register in my district. All the ANC people that came from the diaspora register in my district. So people shouldn't feel that they're the only people that voted for me. People voted for me because they believe in my consistency. And I'm going to be consistent. I am. So if anybody thinks I'm not going to be, I'm not talking because I want job from Joseph Boakai. I'm talking because I want attention. If I want attention, I go to Joseph Boakai, he will not put me answer. I resolve that because he lied to me, he lost this. So I will be consistent. My consistency, my advocacy is not about party. I'm going to work with all the parties in the opposition, the ANC, the CDC, all the other parties. I'm going to work with them. I'm not going to join any party. But we are going to collaborate to make sure that the country be redeemed. It will be redeemed.
Oh, guys, because of the time, we're running out of time. Let's bring Mr. Jackson just for. I know he just want to just chime in for a few minutes, for a few seconds, there, so we can make our closing. Yeah, Isaac Jackson, you are muted.
Thank you, Tomalin. And let me say good evening, absolutely, to the esteemed panelists, and then your very respected guest. I mean, now more than ever, Yeke has convinced me that he is a very brilliant politician who loves Liberia beyond party. So I thank Yeke for being that kind of person. You know, I got two questions to ask Yeke, but there's one thing I wanted to put in the public very clearly, is that in spite of the evidence that Mr. Bwaka was in advanced age and that his health was not brilliant, he was not in good health, that some of us articulated that position convincingly. There were vitriolic attacks on us, directed against some of us, for saying that Mr. Bwaka's age was being an impediment, that his health was not brilliant, and as such, Liberia who have been denied some of its goodies. Today, the evidence is convincing that Liberia is being denied some of its goodies. You know, the president's speech was tailored down, made very short because of the pre-existing health condition. If Liberia has had a fresh legs, somebody in brilliant health, we would have heard a substantive speech. Today, what we listened to was a non-robust speech, a watered-down speech that was just given because we want somebody to say something, but that speech was short on substance. It could not have been very substantive because he didn't have the time, the stamina to stay along to deliver an exhaustive speech. So at the earlier days, Liberia is being denied substance. That's the first thing I want to put in the public. And then I go to my question. Yeke, you have complained already that Mr. Bwaka, the current president, is wheeling back into power some of the previous government officials. Some of those officials of government, you think they were corrupt yesterday, and Bwaka bringing them back into power. Let's assume Bwaka doesn't listen to you, and he continued to bring those same old corrupt government officials back into power. What will be your advice to the Liberian people? Do we start an earlier Bwaka step down campaign, something that we witness in we as Liberia? That's the first question. My second question is around my friend, and I love this brother. I love brother Amin Muda. He's a good friend of mine. But you see, Muda has been appointed to a critical sector of the Liberian economy. And Muda, firstly, Muda is a half Lebanese man. He is going to regulate a sector that is dominated by Lebanese people to the disadvantage of Liberians. For too long, the Liberian economy has been in the hands of Lebanese people, people who are believed to be Amin Muda, half brothers and sisters and friends. Do you think Amin Muda will be tough on those Lebanese brothers? That's the first and the A to that question. The B to that question is Amin Muda himself is a businessman. I am shocked that Mr. Bwaka will take a businessman to preside over the commerce of Liberia. Doesn't it represent a conflicting interest? You have a businessman, Amin Moda, who will be importing things in a country, and he is the one supposed to regulate our commerce. Doesn't that present a conflicting interest? That's the two small question or three small questions I want to ask. I will do an exhaustive critique of the sooner that Boaka delivered. But since Yeke were here and I'm driving, I thought to park my car and ask the few questions to Brother Yeke. It seems that though we'll all be swinging together soon. But thank you very much for having me.
So, I mean, Moda is a body man as far as I'm concerned. Yes, he have a Lebanese background, but his mother is from Lofa County, and our Joseph Boaka nephew. Number two, you know, it was because of Unity Party. Amin Moda sold his property to fish market. So how can Amin Moda get his money back? The only way he can get his money back from a source is for him to say in the Commerce Ministry, Unity Party train Amin Moda good. Good, 100%. Especially Joseph Boakai. That Babe couldn't go nowhere where Amin Moda put the money in his pocket. That one was seeing real decline in asset. You know, so there will be no change. For now, I see things. People coming back to pay themselves what they spend on Joseph Boakai, what they spend on the Unity Party. People bringing in the people in the government because of relationship, because of friendship. My man, I will put you here, you gotta give me this. Look, when it comes to the protest, the Liberian people have their own protests. People are behaving like nobody montored to Joseph Boakai like, oh man, they will have their own protests. And when that town reach Chief Rambo Jackson, I'll be saying, I'll be looking here. You will go all your down. I'll be saying, I'll be looking here. I said, because we're talking here, you say Joseph Boakai like call. Joseph Boakai by himself, he's now a bad person. When I say he's now a bad person, all the decisions right now, he's not making it by himself. People are making the decision for him. They will rap people and say, go read it. They will rap people and say, go read it. They will get things and say, go pull it up. They do not have any committee to vet people that have been appointed. I challenge Unity Party to show me that committee. Now, just group of people here, Joseph Boakai. The group of people are Primoy, Leme, what the other former father minister that came from Uganda a few days. Amara Kone, no, that Amara Kone.
Boyma?
Gafuan.
Boyma Kamara, no, that Boyma Kamara. And what the other man, man? Gafuan came out a few days, you rock a man at 2%. From my source in Joseph Boakai office. They were more than quarter there. It was Gafuan that made a recommendation. And another guy that used to work on the Gafuan before. So they tell our woman there, I mean, nobody working in finance ministry. You see how they put running the country? The people that suffer in the election, they left them out. When you want to Joseph Boakai said, me feel my nephew there for. That one, nobody more come in nephew. My name queer, I come from Grand Gila. Nobody more bring out a nephew penny to me. And I believe in no nephew business. We here for Liberia. Liberia does not Lofa County. This is a Republic of Liberia. This is a Republic of Lofa County. Oh, you know, like your own country, man. President said, I can't do Lofa, so don't talk. You lie, I will talk. Because the country go past. We raise our left to make Joseph Boakai who he is. Let him do the right thing, I will not talk. When you do the wrong thing, I will talk. So, Brother Jassy, we here will work together. We will carry on our criticism, not on party land, on the Liberian land. They will all work together.
Thank you. Grace, take us to the line. That's the last question, and we'll go to the lines.
Okay, Honorable Kaluba, I have one more question. You said that people came to your district to vote for you. Is it lawful? Because if you're not registered in that district and you are not part of that district, why would you leave your district that you're registering to come to another district to vote for somebody? Is it lawful in Liberia for that to happen?
There's no law that forbid that. The election law say anywhere you register, anywhere you vote. Trucking is when you put people in truck, you carry them up and down. But when somebody bring themselves, they're not trucking. They are Liberian, they decide where to vote. And the
They were
election law
registered in
say
your
anywhere you register,
district?
anywhere you vote.
So they were registered there?
Huh?
They were registered in the district
Yeah,
before they
people
voted for
register
you?
there. You don't have to live there.
Okay.
You don't have to live there. You can go anywhere to register. So that you're Liberian. People went to Maryland, Grand Gila, Lofa, Nimba to go and register to vote. That's the right.
Okay, let's go to the lines. Let's take a few calls. Let's take 5 calls quickly. Then we can.
We'll have all the calls from Liberia today, okay?
Okay.
All the calls from
And I'll tell you.
No, Aaron, your phone not working good.
Turn the second mic off.
Aaron, you muted.
770-17-635,000 number call. I'm going to bring you live on the closing argument. Let's get to the very first caller. Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. How do you?
I do okay.
Okay. Tell them because channel you go straight to the question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I want to appreciate the honorable so much for his intervention, right? But as he said, that this man is half Liberian. This having that man, right? Now, one of the shooter he considered to be half Liberian, but being a businessman and for the Liberian people who have been crying for RPGs and other, essential, to that extent that he been appointed to that position. What do we really expect from them? Is it possible that he be there because, he's not, yes, or half Liberians, or really for me, I don't want to know.
Okay.
You have the Liberian economy struggling, and then you have somebody of people businessmen being appointed to that position, and also it's not being appointed to NOCA. Knowing the fact that people who have been appointed to NOCA before being, the competitor of the president, past president Eli Joseph Sali, who children stole, and nothing came from there. My question is, do we take another someone within that same position who will see you again and then go start free? Thank you.
Thank you so much. 770-17-635,000 number call, and then you're going to be live in a closing argument. 770-17-635. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning to the public of Lofa Julius. Thanks for the closing argument platform and the posting in order to talk. Always coming on the platform for people that are paramount to Nigeria.
Let's go to the point.
Yeah, going to the point. I appreciate Honorable Kaluba for being on the show and discussing issues about Nigeria. This is our country. I think we might be able to do everything in the interest of our people, not on the basis of party line. This is the point that we have come through that we need to critique Honorable Baka's government. Now for him being our uncle, we being his nephew from Lofa. We know that Lofa has the presidency, but it's not why we eat. Why we eat with the it's about those things that they would do to improve the life of the ordinary people. If you understand, that would be interest as people. So we look forward to looking up to them as our leader, that they should be able to summon those government officials and ensure that they stop those that will not be able to work in the interest of the Nigerian people. So we should make sure they should not be confirmed as people of this country, because we're not waiting for this year until they will go to election and be able to find solutions to our problem. Our problem should be solved. This is why the workers came to rescue us. If you cannot rescue us, I think you will be able to rescue us. Thank you very much for this discussion.
So if you cannot rescue, or you should be able to excuse her. 217017635.
That's something to remember.
I thought it's called good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm okay. My name is Abdurrahman Ba, and I joined the conversation from.
Yeah, Abdullah, you have to be audible a bit, please. In 1 minute.
Yeah, you getting me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I said my name is Abdurrahman Ba, and I joined the conversation from Red Light. Firstly, let me appreciate the panelists on the show, and also Ruyeke Koluba. What I want to say to Ruyeke is, Ruyeke, everything that you said tonight was something that was, being championed by the CDC doing the campaign. But instead, you went to, tell the Liberian people that everything they said was wrong. It wasn't true of a GMB. So my question is, do you think all of the revelation you're making tonight, do you think the Liberian people are gonna trust what they're saying, and they're gonna, don't you think they're gonna declare you a political government bomb, what we call President Onglada? Thank you for the minute opportunity.
Okay, thank you so much. If what Honorable Yaga is saying, if you can be trusted for that, or just be a government bond just on a fee and you don't have inside. 7017635. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm Jason. I'm also calling from FDA.
1 minute, please, sir.
Yeah, I want to appreciate Honorable Yaga. Still doing that. I'm going to still listening to our closing argument, but it's very, very interesting doing that. Yeah, I have two questions. About the Waga speech today, he did mention about the role on the that's very crucial island to go to Arawe, and secondly about the morning that Joga said I in the budget what I want to get having an idea to budget on it, or to tell what I would tell the money for to face the role.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Yaga, I hope you got this call. You said the road connectivity that the president talked about, moving from Bourgeois Island to Douala, and also about the phone, about the money former President Levin called the 40 million. If it is true that it was reduced, or the present government saw 20 million, you should you also ought to speak to that. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you? No, hello.
Yeah.
You have to either dress away from the monitor or you lower the monitor. The feedback.
All right, late. Last call, so we're gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
Something. I get one last call here after this.
Go ahead, be fast.
Yeah, okay. My first one is Honorable Yaga Koluba. According to him, he said, my people are kind of allowed to feed. I want to ask a question. During the campaign, how the Fabian for looking? It was bad into campaign finish after the campaign before the Fabian got sick. So there is my question. But after the campaign, the Fabian went here in America and that to Latvian people. Some people say he went to Henry, some people say he never go to hospital. So I want you, I think very sure our president here. Because we're not going to have some people say you see back or other things there. So I beg you, I didn't want to stop. So there is my question.
Okay, let me take this last one. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, my name is Abraham Cohen, man.
there's an issue that I've been listening to you guys for the past time, and there are certain things I think just gloss over. But I heard Honorable Yeke talking about there's no committee being constituted for vetting. But here's the thing. It has been publicly stated that President Bouaka have constituted a committee because he's tired of people going to him for jobs. Now, constituted such a committee comprised of 60 senators who happens to be, they are the referee and the player in this case, where some of them are even recommending their brother, their siblings for position. And yesterday, I think a committee constituted, headed by them, to select people for appointment, and subsequently the very people are going to go to them for confirmation hearing. Ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, I think that's travesty of justice, and I think you guys need to amplify the concern about it. It's unprecedented. I think I have lived around enough to see some presidents in our country, and this is the first time that a sitting president will ask senators to serve as veterans for presidential appointees, where they're going to go to the very senators for appointment. Case in point, Alex Tyler, having made it understand that his sibling, his brother, has been appointed as Minister of Transportation. Now, who's going to confront such a man? Who's going to quiz him? We need to stop this, man, gentlemen. So I need for you guys to please amplify this. Thank you, man.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, you can just give a closing answer the question, just comments. Thank you so much.
You know, I listened to the last call. I'm going to start from the last. He talked about committee. There's no committee set up. Joseph Bouaka just got a few group of people. They Prince Moy there that he feel can make money for him to bring people to put them in positions. How you will get people that go and confront people, recommending people? You think upon that past confirmation? You think no? Look, let's stop joking with the Liberian people. Let's stop it. It is wrong because they'll see people just putting the people there. They'll just kind of check them up. They pass. There is no confirmation. They're just going to acknowledge what they have done. They call it confirmation. I listen to somebody say, you don't think the people will lie? If the people will say you are a liar, I cannot be a liar. Because even seditious voted for me. I got evidence enough. Seditious were on the campaign trail with me. They say all the players will vote for you, but will not vote for Joseph Bouaka. I said no problem. And we're in the convoy going. When you used to come to my base, you know the party point used to be there, CDC people there. Because the base is for everybody. You understand? They are listening to somebody talk about 4 billion. 40 million. I got no idea. When John we are to power, he said nothing was in the cover. So a left with Joseph Bouaka to all it. Only the all it will prove that something was there. But you have to start from the all it. The money the level John we are. They need to tell all about that. And listen to the first caller that talk about government boom. The Liberian post, I cannot be government boom in the country. As you feeling disappointed in the way I speak, all of us feel very, very proud. You don't need to vote for me. I don't dignify this work. If I was dignifying the work, I was going to be running behind committee business. I'm waiting for the speaker to appoint all the committee. All the committee will put me on, I will resign from all for the first 3 years until I see committee in the interest, doing things in the interest of the Liberian people. Committee in the capital building is just for us to enrich ourselves, not in the interest of the people. So I don't have interest. You think I run after money? You know I be a committee business? Somebody that are talking right now when they're in the hour, they'll be running behind community business. I run after my integrity. Any money in the budget, I will take it for me. But until the committee can proceed the right way, I don't want committee job for 3 years. Let us do work in the interest of the Lebrimpo, not ourselves. So for me to be government boom, it's not possible, man. Nobody can make a government boom. If I'm not represented, I will be the most famous person. You want to know that I'm famous? Come Cinco and stay there and say, cannot stay to Cinco. The traffic will block because you can stay there. Put one lawmaker to Cinco, nobody will go there. I'm the most respected, the most famous, the most popular representative ever in the history of the country. I can boast of it. The district, the port district number 10 made me who I am. And they make me to talk and say to people that people wish to talk to in the country, government officials, and they will not talk to them because of my consistency and because of my behavior. Yeah, I may be here, I may sound somehow, sometimes it's all a frustration. And I pray that we don't reach that point. I pray. I'm sending a caveat to President Boakai. Tell your people to not attack my left. When they attack my left, I will respond to Joseph Boakai. I stand on my statement. Let me say thank you. I just thought to take my power bank because my battery is going low. And I'll be available at any time to come on the show when you put need me. We in the opposition, we will discuss. I'm not a member of the ANC. I'm not a member of the CDC. But we are all partners that will work together to keep the government feet to the fire. Let me say thank you and God bless everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable.
Thank you, Yeke.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
You stand. God bless you and be safe.
Please come back. Please come back, Honorable.
Take
I see y'all pay my
what we talk about. Take into consideration what we talk about. I can't do like bro see.
We can't
I will try.
Okay.
Be your authentic self.
Thank you, Yeke.
Yeah.
Right, so we don't have time, but let's quickly just run. We'll go run it for 1 minute each. We just get our closing and just call it a day. For that long day. So we start with the female, Grace. Then we'll go along. I'm going to we'll start with you first.
Thank you, Tomalin, and thank you everybody for us being here. One of the things that concerned me on the show tonight was that the voting process. And I really want like us to look at it deeply.
Yeah, mute yourselves, guys.
That people can, be registered in NIMA, and they will go to NIMA and vote for the representative, and then they will vote for the president in NIMA as well. And then if there's a second round, if they ain't got money to go back to NIMA, how would they vote for the president? So it's just kind of confusing that people can register to different districts. One of the things that concern me. And also, I would just like to say Liberia has been hijacked. Liberia has been hijacked. It would take a lot of work, a lot of consistency with people who really love Liberia, put Liberia first. It's not because of their friend, their family member, or nothing, but just because they want to see the country better. It's not because of them going to want to steal money and be part of the corruption, but just to see Liberia succeed. So in this, our lifetime, we will see a change in Liberia we never had, especially our generation are here, including Yeke, because he's supposed to be part of our generation. That the fight that we are fighting for Liberia to be a better place, that we will live to see it, because some of our friends died and never saw this. And Liberia has been hijacked with everything that we're hearing today from the representative. The money that had changed hands. People are setting in a committee to confirm people that they nominated and told the president to nominate. The whole country had turned upside down. So why did we vote President Boakai in? Why did we? We actually had just stayed there then. So for us to have that change, for Liberia to be rescued, the fight is on. But as I see right now, moving forward, Liberia has been hijacked by people who took this man, this older guy, and because he had the favoritism and the love the people have for him, they jump behind him and say, you know what, we'll use him and we'll come there and we'll take our own money and whatsoever the case may be. Because the same old recycled politician has been hired and put to position. And it is sad for us to sit here and watch.
The
So
removal
thanks,
of an
guys. I
individual,
appreciate
not
you
a
all.
system.
And we'll be here again another time. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Let's just the guys at the studio are telling me, but we'll hurry up with the stuff. But again, the next battle we have to fight is this. The confirmation battle is on. I spoke to 4 Minister of Destiny yesterday, including Amin Modad, the Transport Minister, and other ministers. There's a battle we have to fight. They have to fight now. Starting tomorrow. So we'll be discussing about these confirmations starting from Wednesday or so. But that will just end. So who next? Duke then.
Yeah. Great time on the show as always. As I mentioned, closing argument continues to set itself apart. Glad to be on here today. Just in closing, as I stated from the onset, we are making references to a speech today. And just from that perspective, I think it was a great speech. I do believe that they tailor it to fit the president. Something that I don't have any problem with because I'm not into big speeches or long speeches, by the way. But I think if you see there was something that occurred before and they made adjustments, that's fine. I would highly encourage that going forward, there are additional details made available to the public to be able to review the context. I just took notice of the Zegda Mansion page, and I saw that they did a nice little summary of what the speech was about, and so I do appreciate that. I like the fact that they're looking at facing the roads conditions, that they want to focus on empowering young people. How we get that money is something that we have to, continue to watch. Hopefully, there will be some level of clarity. But overall, I think it was great. Honorable Kalaba said some things today, and I'd like to follow up on what my sister said. What's troubling for me is to just, see the level of deception that's in our body politics. Elected officials or people appointed to positions openly taking money. That's something that breaks my heart. But again, look, I supported the best candidate in this election in the second round. I did believe that the Liberian people, based upon my observation of Klan on the ground, wanted President Boyka. And I believe that, hopefully this is the change that we need. And hopefully he will be able to make the necessary adjustments. So we look forward to the dawn of New Day. We have more conversation to be held. But this is kudos on the speech, and hopefully we get to see more out of the unity party-led government and the president.
Okay, let me close quick, Mac, guys. I just want to give a quick advice to Robert. There's a show coming on every Sunday with Dr. Peabody about some gospel thing. I would love for you to join him and don't do this politics thing, because the problem is you're telling your kid to be. I don't know what advice you give me, your kid. There is no way the Democrat going to tell Liz Cheney to tune it down on he's on Trump. No way. No way. No way Democrats will do that. So my advice to you, people coming up with that show, I will ask you, please join him. Please join him. You see, what happened? You would disagree with Yeke, right? But Booker and his team encourage Yeke, they support Yeke, and they won election based on what Yeke did. And now we're saying that Yeke should change it. I think you're doing a disservice to the other side, So the reason I'm bringing up Liz Cheney, you in the country, you live in the red state. No way, that will not happen. So if you want to play that gospel side, pretty soon Dr. Peabody is coming with a Sunday program. Just join him. That's all I will say to you.
Look, I gotta go next. I think it's just fair to go next. You know,
Well,
Kev is
now I feel like I want to interrupt you. I want to go next, just for you.
Kev,
No, I'm just messing around. Go ahead.
Kev is my brother. Kev is my brother, but Kev, I gotta disagree, and I think to some extent, I think you're being hypocritical here, right? Because we all did frown at Yeke's approach to the president, the former president, which was your preferred candidate. I don't think you liked the way Yeket attacked George Weah. Look, it's one thing to talk about the issues, right? What I would love to see Yeket and other politicians do in that disagreement is focus on the substance. Let's talk about disagreeing with the policies of our politicians. That's what I'm talking about. Rather, more so than personal attacks, more so than using vocabularies that our own constituents would not, it does not benefit them, right? And so I'm not telling Yeket to stop doing what he's doing. I'm not telling Yeket to not criticize the president. I'm not telling Yeket to not be fierce in his disagreement with policies of the president. What I'm asking of Yeket is what I asked of him when George Weah was president. I think you will concur with me. Yeket's approach were more so about personal attacks than it was about policy disagreement, than it was about substantive things. And so my kind of politics is one that benefits the people. This is the reason why the closing argument is different. This is the reason why people, reputable, responsible, intelligent people tune into this platform, because we don't discuss gossip. We don't delve into the insults and the ghetto and whatnot. We talk about the substantive issues. That's what I'm telling Yeka to do. Let's talk about the speech. Let's talk about whether or not this president have what it takes to really put forth a national tourism bill. Look, I like the fact that he spoke about the recommendation that came from the Ministry of Information, and I commend them for that. We've been talking about the separation of the culture and tourism from information, and that we needed to invest into that area because this is the area that creates jobs. And when he made mention of that today during his speech, I commend him for that. But you would agree with me that I don't agree with Joseph Boakai and Unity Party on almost anything. But we can't move forward as a country. We can't move forward as a country when everything is about party and ourselves and how we feel. We have to look at the issues, and when the issues presented make sense in the interest of our country, we have to say, look, it does make sense. Let me close on this note. Implementation is important. Implementation is important as much as a good speech and a delivering of that speech. And so I agree with Professor Larry Kennedy. In as much as I like most of what was mentioned, he talked about the passage of the National Tourism Bill. He talked about the importance of hiring experts, people who are experienced in this area to lead this authority when this bill is passed. I embrace that. This is my area of expertise. But I know that a government that prioritizes tourism will once and for all create jobs in the private sector. I know this for a fact. So I embrace that. But the how does he intend to do it was missing. The meat, what a lot of things he said did not talk about how. Training 10,000 people did not talk about how he intends to do that. When President Weah made mention of bringing 6,000 teachers from Nigeria, there were people in the Unity Party who questions the how. How did George Weah intend on implementing this? What became of that promise? We know how that ended. And so as we commend the president's speech, we must also say, look, how do you intend to do this? How do you intend to raise funds to ensure that all roads in our country are pliable? He made mention of that. So I look for the implementation and how he intends to do this, but I'm not telling Yeket to stop his criticism. I'm asking Yeket to respect the office of the president and to be more professional in his approach and focus on the policy and substance. And I think if he does that, he will gain and recruit a fan in me. And I like the fact that he's open to these ideas. And kudos to him for coming on today.
Okay, thank you. Everybody done, right? Okay.
No, I'm not done yet. But I think
I haven't gone yet.
But let me say, man, in 1 minute, that the speech I would disappointed for the fact that Prince Johnson had his way today in that speech. For the fact that Prince Johnson went and threatened the president and made fun of him yesterday at his pulpit, the president did not mention the war and economic crime code. I'm disappointed because that was on his agenda, one of the key things on his agenda. He didn't do it. I think I'm now beginning to question whether the president is really serious about the thing that he said. I'm beginning to question that. Thank you.
So let me just close on this note to say just follow up on Dr. Peabody's statement about the president's decision to just ignore the reality on ground, the quest of Liberians for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court, something that he promised Liberians during the campaign. And today, I believe he cowered to Prince Johnson. And I think the speech lacked a whole lot of substance. To be honest with you, I think it was only the speech was written to consider the previous incident that took place so that we don't experience it again. So they simply just gave us a vague statement without the how, and that is what we are left with today. I want to close on this note. Again, Liberia politics have always been dwelt on deception. We saw it, we live it, and we are going through it again. Honorable Yeke Koluba and others who also to support the candidacy of have us vindicated that what we saw and today we warn against is in reality that the entire process, the system or idea of change has been hijacked, and the possibility of moving Liberia forward is nowhere close. So it's good that at least we are experiencing this so that as we go forward, we can have reason, to hold ourselves accountable and hopefully live up to the expectations that is that require of us as Liberians. I don't see Honorable Boykai living up to the expectation. Honorable Boykai, as a deacon, I don't expect him to fail any drug tests. That is not what I want to see from Honorable Boykai. I hoped to have heard Honorable Boykai promise us the establishment of the War Crimes Court. I hope to have heard Honorable Boykai declare to us that his assets have been declared, that of he and his vice president. Unfortunately, we heard nothing like that, but he promised us that he will be at the forefront of the issue of drug tests. I know Honorable Boykai will pass the drug test. I know that. Okay, that is not my concern. My concern is how are you going to fight the drug addiction in Liberia? And if you're going to do so, you want to start with some level of substance and, of course, transparency. You have not declared your asset, and others are doing so, but you promised that you will be transparent in the process. And here we are left with nothing to hold up to, and you're telling us that you will be transparent. You want to audit when in the most recent incident, the inaugural program, okay, there's issue of corruption. I'm sorry to say that, unfortunately, I have nothing to hold on to, but continue to pray for a better Liberia. Thank you.
Guys, thanks a lot, studio on my back, but hopefully Wednesday we might have the press secretary of the president on the show as guest. She says she'll come back. Hopefully, we should let me know by tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll have her on the show. Then CDC issued the response already today, but we'll hopefully have some of our CDC either on Friday or depending on what happens on Wednesday or Friday.
Wednesday.
The other time, guys, please.
CDC get a rebuttal.
Well, at least they didn't wait 3 days.
I just arrived, comrade.
At least they didn't wait 3
I
days.
just arrived, comrade. Yeah, I just arrived. Hello? 30 seconds?
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Okay, but say the 30 seconds, again, we think the speech, the sooner delivered by President Bouaka, we hold the view that it was short on substance. And one of the reasons why it was short on substance, it was not exhaustive, is because they had to tailor the speech to his age and his health. something that we eloquently articulated, a truth that was told in the public, for which some of us was attacked and severely. And today, some of our friends in the previous government, meaning previous government of Madam Selif, that Bouaka served as number 2 man, still hold grudges for us for talking the truth. And so if that truth is now a living reality that Liberians are now living with, we need to fledge it. Liberians are now living with the sad reality of having an aging president for which the speech will be reduced. We are now living with the reality of having an ailing president for which the speech was now tailored. And we got to say it because it's the truth. The other thing I want to say to my friend, I like my colleague, I think the colleague there who was trying to be hard on Yeke. He's raising a very delicate issue, and there's a delicate line that we must carry along this line. Nobody will compare any reasonable person to respect the office of Arthur Hitler because he was Chancellor of Germany. The issue about respecting offices, if the occupant of the office diminishes the value of that office, brother, you can't be demanding me to respect that office. Respect, as we all know it, let me lay my thought on this. Respect, as we all know it, it is an earned credit. It is not an automatic right. We don't respect people because they occupy some office and they're doing demeaning and derogatory things. We respect them the way they conduct themselves in that office. One of the things that Bouaka did today that I'm still thinking through. What is his position on the Liberian people's supreme interest? And I can talk about it, but in part, many of the Liberian people who stood in a queue there to vote for Mr. Bouaka, they were concerned about their paycheck. He did not say anything serious about it. Does he intend to follow the policy of the CDC government of what they did regarding to harmonization? I mean, and Ben was on point to say, Mr. President Bouaka, if you think the country is in distress, then you need to be robust in your SONA message to at least inspire confidence. But are you going to follow? We're going to ask Bouaka, his spokesperson, is Mr. Bouaka going to follow the policy of the CDC regarding the policy harmonization? Is that what they're going to do? He didn't say anything serious in that regard. So I think this speech here was short on substance, and my friend Duke is in line, but he's saying, they got to tailor it according to the way they experience. Duke, what we experienced, it was a reality that we're in denial of. You and I supported Mr. Cummings. We thought he was a fresh legs who have brought new ideas and brought in the stamina and the dynamism to move our country. Other people disagree and brought Bouaka on us. Now we live in this reality. I think Liberian people should prepare themselves for everything in a country to be short-circuited. Because we get sick, man, as we got to be managing everything. The president can stand up for 45 minutes to talk straight. Everybody got to be scary, or you fall down, or you think, or you can't hear anything. It's a sad reality. It doesn't present. I'm concluding. My thing is, it doesn't present a dignified look for Liberia. Liberia is the first republic on the African continent. We needed somebody. And let me lay my thought. You were coming. We needed somebody.
This come not the radio.
I'm learning my thought. We needed somebody robust, energetic to lead our country. Regrettably, we ended up with Mr. Bouaka. And I think it's a sad reality. I thank you for having me, and we'll continue the conversation.
I say you got to come back. You got to come back.
I think we'll continue this discussion.
We'll bring Isaac as a special guest on Wednesday.
Yeah, please do.
Thank you very kindly, comrade. Thank you very kindly, comrade.
You can let a Mecca and say all the things. We'll come back.
Thank you very kindly. But I'm coming tomorrow. I'm coming tomorrow. Thank you very much, comrade. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Sir Arthur Jackson.
I know, right?
Duke, it's good to see you back, man.
Yeah, my man. I'm glad you happened to see me back.
PL480.
Hey, my man, we'll talk about people on Liberia SONA address, man. We'll talk later.
He's in fear of waiting. I'll see you guys, man. Henry, we'll talk
Yeah,
later.
man. Have a good night, man. Harry, good to see you. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
Man, at the time, still exactly 9 minutes up to 1 o'clock. It has been very, very fascinating with our panelists there. And let me say many thanks to you there in Riddle and also and the team there at Hot FM.